This is Havoc All-Stars. Let's get started. Welcome everyone to Havoc All-Stars. Beautiful, sunny, warm downtown Norwalk, Connecticut. I'm here with my lovely wife and co-host, Lindsay Bear.
Hello, Chris. I am so excited for this event. I know you are too. This is unlike anything we have done before. It's a brand new tournament. We have special guests. We are just so excited for what's going to happen. And man, let's get started.
Let's see how tonight's gonna shake out. Now, this is kind of like a 5-year celebration of what we've been doing here at NHRL. This is a different style tournament, right? It's a World Cup style tournament. There are 3 weight classes, 3, 12, and 30 pounds, and there's 12 bots that have been invited to each class. Now, each bot in this format, this group stage format, are gonna have 2 fights, and the top 2 bots from each group are gonna qualify for the knockout stage, which begins tomorrow night on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so we're actually going to be here 3 nights in a row from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern time each night.
Prime time.
Prime time, absolutely. So yeah, not every bot is going to know if they're qualified or not by the end. Bots that are 1-1, or 0-1, 1-0, we're going to have some wiggle room in there to, figure out tomorrow. So there's a lot of stakes tonight, even more stakes tomorrow. And then on Thursday night, we are going to be able to crown a champion in each weight class.
So we have invited folks from the past, the present, maybe somehow the future of NHRL. We have some awesome YouTubers here that I know that we absolutely love. We got to go out to Open Sauce earlier this year over the summer and see some of them up close, and it was such an awesome event. And they came all the way here to the House of Havoc, where I think that there's going to be some really fun shenanigans happening in the very near future.
Yeah, I think if you know anything about the Safety Third podcast crew, we've got William Osman, we've got Michael Reeves, we've got Kevin from the Backyard Scientist, and they are here. I know you're a big fan of Kevin. They're here, and if you know anything about them, Safety Third, well, we're Safety First here. they like to get a little crazy. So I'm really excited to see what they are going to bring. Their kind of maniacal energy, let's call it, kind of loose around the edges. And I mean, basically, we let them run free in our shop. Much to Ed, the shop manager's chagrin.
Yeah.
I don't think he was very happy about that. But yeah, I think I saw the look in their eyes, and they'd never seen anything like the facility we have here.
One of these first bots that we're going to see here coming up in a little bit, facing evil henchman Sam and Alvin and the Chipmunks, will be William Osman's Soggy Mustang. And I'm seeing some chefs.
What is this, Chris?
I knew tonight was going to be weird. There's too many chefs in this kitchen.
So if I can recap what I've seen so far, just trying to catch the details, I saw an array of what I believe are great value hot dogs. And I see Michael and Kevin and William in Chef's Whites. So, all right, we're in for a treat.
Wow. Okay, so Alvin and the Chipmunks is a concept bot born out of the very curious mind of Austin McCord and evil henchman Sam. It's got a 50,000 RPM diesel thruster engine on the front of it,
of course
capable of melting asphalt, versus Soggy Mustang, a bot that looks like it has a front armor package made out of hot dogs, and I see, there are some condiments lined up as well. The good news is, if you're here live in Norwalk for this incredible All-Stars event, the first round of hot dogs is on us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would recommend eating them based on what chemicals they're about to be subjected to, but hey, put the risk in your own hands. Who are we to say?
I wonder who will be the wiener of this match.
Now, this match is not for the tournament. This is just something a little fun we've cooked up.
And here we see Michael Reeves on the left. We see the backyard scientist on the right, and William Osmond rallying up the middle. This is the executive chef, the sous chef, and the hot dog smith.
Now, I have to tell you, this is their first time here at NHRL, and they fit right in. Like, this makes sense to me somehow.
Yeah.
This works.
They're on a roll.
Oh, how could I ever catch up to all those great puns you have? Yep. So I also see Emily, the engineer, and Peter Strapel, who are going to be here with us throughout the week as well. It looks like they are helping doing some fine tuning here. I know that the safety third guys have spent probably countless months working on this robot. Oh, and here to talk about it are none other than William Osmond, Kevin Kohler, and Michael Reeves.
All right, so we're here with the chefs.
My name's Chef.
On the mic right now, we have the 2023 Excavator Aficionado of the Year, William Osmond.
That's a
Welcome to
lie.
Norwalk.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about Soggy Mustang?
Oh, we changed its name to Raw Dog.
It might not be for long.
I think you'll be surprised.
That's over 4 pounds of beef on that rope.
Raw.
Now, did that
beef.
play
Raw
into the
dogs.
weight class? Because we have very strict weight rules here.
We added a couple hot dogs to the robot.
Thank you, Michael. I met Chef.
So, what strategy do you go into a fight against a 50,000 RPM diesel thruster engine? Like
We were
what-
thinking 4 pounds of raw beef would intimidate our opponent.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's also
In the
it
same
also-
way I can see you're clearly intimidated by 4 pounds of raw beef right now.
I had
also
4
serves as a
pounds of
big
raw
heat
beef
sink.
before I
It's
sit at
gonna
this
suck up
desk
all the
every
heat.
event.
You're sweating. You nervous? You're not even in the ring.
He knows that we can't
All right.
lose.
You know what?
Or it doesn't get cooked.
So we're being tested tonight. We're being tested tonight by head chef over here.
Okay.
So
You can tell he's head chef because he's got a bigger hat.
bigger hat.
Yeah.
I like it. Go in there and show Evil Henchman Sam a thing or two about hot dogs.
Yeah.
I believe in you
He
guys.
can't beat us. If he hits us, it gets cooked, and that's kind of what we want.
Chef, yes, Chef!
Yes, chef.
Behind! Behind!
Wow. Good luck, everybody. We're all going to need it. This is unprecedented here at NHRL.
For those of you out there that are hearing a high-pitched squeal right now, that is the afterburner on Alvin the Chipmunks, currently idling at, I don't know how many RPMs the idle speed is, but it's enough to really kind of just make you grit your teeth.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to have these headphones on right now. It's giving us a little protection. If you are in the audience and you need some ear plugs, we sure have them. It feels like a trip to the dentist.
It does. It sounds a little bit like a dentist drill. It also sounds a little bit like, your flight is about to take off because it's about to. Here we see Evil Henchman Sam on the side of cage 4.
I'm a little disappointed because Raw Dog, they're dressed in chef whites. That's their name. That's their name. Because they're dressed in chef whites, I was kind of hoping that Sam would be in like a flight uniform
Oh, that'd be
or
pretty-
something.
I mean,
But hey,
it's casual Tuesday on the tarmac. Oh boy. And here we go. Soggy Mustang versus Alvin and the Chipmunks. Soggy Mustang, aka Raw Dog. And William Osmond is wondering why I'm sweating saying that.
Oh, all right. Look, there's already some kind of flopping around.
I like the hot dog wheel guard. I like the hot dog front pan. I'm curious if that spindle actually turns.
Is this going to be like a maximizer style robot where they go in with the carousel of hot dogs and then they quickly spin to whip you with the background hot dogs?
I'm getting word from production that the that the bot born out of Soggy Mustang, now Raw Dog needs to actually plug in perhaps their hot dog spindle.
Oh, rookie move. I see perhaps some Crashfest style mini bots here.
That's right. I think that we have two Crash clones now acting as Simon and Theodore in this trio.
All right, it looks like the hot dog robot has made its way to its corner. That's a good sign. It is mobile. I am I'm frankly impressed. Frankly.
Oh, I see. Yeah, not bad. So I'm not even sure technically what weight class this is. It looks like Raw Dog is about a foot long.
5, 4, 3,
Here we go.
2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Here we go, folks.
All right, Alvin has left its corner. I can hear it revving up.
Oh my goodness.
There's already a hot dog loose in the arena.
That'll happen.
Whoa! There's some drive on Soggy Mustang.
I'm impressed. This is one incredible all-beef bot. Using the mustard to your advantage. Great, good.
Okay, we are getting what looks like a pin from Soggy Mustang.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
All those flavors are just kind of mixed together. It's hard to know, tell one from the other. All right, no, he's trying to go in for a pin if he can get his bearings, but now he's just kind of twirling.
I do the same thing after a few hot dogs. I'm useless.
All right.
Okay, so this is the wow!
Wow!
Oh my goodness! One of the Crashfest just took a all beef right to the face.
A blade of hot dogs. This is a first. It looks like they're really into this spinning move. I think they're trying to dare Alvin to approach with the flame. Or there's some terrible malfunction.
I'm really curious if Raw Dog actually disabled the thruster engine on Alvin.
All right, Soggy Mustang showing some control here, trying to get some quick pins. We're having a pin countdown. All right, who is pinning who? It's hard to tell. It looks like Soggy Mustang high-centered on Alvin here. All right, so we have our Housebot coming in to give them a gentle nudge. Also might be hungry, Fluffy.
I think Fluffy did just suck a hot dog somewhere into the undercarriage. That is going to be fun to scrape out later.
Whoa!
Oh, wow!
All right, Soggy Mustang now going right for flow. Soggy Mustang, that is not your enemy. You gotta get some pins on Alvin until you get pinned yourself, like you are right now. Looks like that little mini Crashfest has potentially high-centered Soggy Mustang, just slapping those franks.
We've seen some strange fights here at NHRL, but it looks like the majority of Alvin the Chipmunks is not mobile. Soggy Mustang, the bot is willing, is just pinned on its own 100% all beef weapon.
Well, believe it or not, that is the match. Those 3 minutes went by in a flash. I believe this is going to be going to a judge's decision.
I'm curious how our judges are going to analyze this fight. You know, there was some damage to the bots. There was some damage to our arteries.
All right, so the two teams having a friendly handshake after what was one of the most destructive, violent matches we've ever seen. But let's take a replay at some of this backyard carnage. Now, I have to say, I was really impressed. Soggy Mustang really enjoyed spinning and they did it well. And they flung some hot dogs in the process. Now, does that count as damage because they're losing part of their robot? Or is that like somehow part of their strategy, flinging weapons at their opponent? I don't know.
You know what fight I want to see? I want to see Soggy Mustang versus Joey Chestnut. The Nathan's hot dog eating champion, reigning champion.
All right, we got to get Joey Chestnut out to this next event here. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the first time that we've ever seen mustard and hot dogs deployed in a combat robotics fight, I think. We've seen themed bots of pizza and tacos and all sorts of stuff,
Sure.
but that was the one that actually brought in 4 pounds of beef.
Great value hot dogs. They're a weapon just on their own right at any backyard barbecue, but this was a new application.
Let's get into our tournament here at Havoc All-Stars, beginning with our 30-pound group stage. Now you can see we have groups A, B, C, and D. Each group has 3 bots. They're going to be facing off. You know, if you lose twice, you're out. And what we're trying to do is through each of these group stages, we are going to see who can endure the longest and actually make it to the actual knockout part of the of this event, beginning tomorrow on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, so here are all the bots that we have lined up for you today in the 30-pound weight class. One that I am really excited to see actually just taking their place now in Cage 1 is Squire, built by Jordan Neal. Now, we were talking with the team a little bit earlier. We were talking with Logan Davis, who is in their pit crew today. And he said that he thinks this is finally the time when Jordan can go all the way. He has come very close several times. And this, he thinks, is the best version of the robot he's seen yet. And I have to applaud them for how they just entered the arena. I don't know if you could hear that.
The clinking of armor?
Yes.
Yes.
They rode an actual horse.
It's incredible.
Into the arena. Or, you know, they just used coconuts like in Monty Python.
Right.
It was glorious. We loved it.
All right, let's see who are the people behind the bots.
Jordan Neal and Squire.
Jordan Neal's Squire doesn't just polish the swords, you know he uses them. With 2 second-place finishes under his belt, he's hungry for that victory. But can he get it before the wheels fall off?
Stars, coming at you.
Meet.
Let's go.
Let's take a look.
B.
Jordan, I have to give him some applause because he is in full regalia. I would not want to fight him as a robot or if I just saw him in a field.
It must be so hard to get through TSA security wearing full plate armor.
He has actual chainmail. I saw him trying to get into it today. And
What?
Well, in the pits, it was all very above board. But yeah, I mean, we love when our builders try to go that extra notch, not just bring in a really exciting robot, something that's doing something a little bit different, but also coming in costume, making a spectacle. Like that is, that's how you win my heart, at least.
All right, so of course, Squire is going to be going up against Big Ripto. Let's learn a little bit about Big Ripto.
Kyle Singer and Big Ripto.
Big Ripto is the ancient beast once again awoken to bring back into the fray. Not many robots have arenas listed as a defeated opponent, but with his nasty vertical spinner, Big Ripto is one of them.
All right, the Knight versus the Beast.
Who will win?
Cage 1, let's get into it.
Hopefully the arena lives to see another match, though. All right, there you see Jordan. Wow, that is attire A+.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, here we go.
Whoa! Huge hit. Squire is looking a little confused after that large hit from Big Ripto, but trying to get that pin wherever it can. Spork's doing a good job getting under Big Ripto.
At least keeping Big Ripto at bay. Squire looks like, as far as the verts go, has a little bit less reach, probably has a little bit less weight in that weapon.
Wow.
And so those forks are critical.
Yeah, those forks are really doing Squire a lot of favors in this match. So are those feathers. All right, now it looks like Big Ripto is the one having a little bit of trouble with its drive. Some of these hits may have been critical.
Squire going in for a great side scoop. Still getting under Big Ripto using those forks.
All right, Squire trying to...
Oh, wow! Squire with a big hit!
We've got smoke!
Big Ripto, the magic smoke! Incredible! Fantastic hit from Squire.
That is the match. Your winner is Squire. That is incredible, as Big Ripto is just a pile of smoke.
Tap out.
Unbelievable.
All right, I am starting to really believe Logan Davis when he says that this could be Squire's tournament. This could be the one that they take home. That was absolutely incredible. It must be that intimidating armor.
I think Squire is ready to graduate on to just full knighthood.
All right, well, it looks like Big Ripto is going to live to see another day at least. I'm sure Kyle has quite a bit of repairs to do, but...
Let's take a look at the replay, see where exactly this huge hit happened. There's this first exchange, which kind of knocked both bots off kilter a little bit. They both took a long time to recover, but it was that huge shot from Squire at the end that sealed the deal.
Wow.
Must have exploded a motor or an ESC. It didn't necessarily look like it was a full battery fire. I can't wait to see that hit.
Yeah, it almost seemed like as...
Boom, there it was.
Yeah. As the match went on, Jordan got a little bit more confident, maybe going weapon to weapon. And with that big hit, I mean, it really worked out in his favor.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a little time to get your bearings.
Sure.
They had done a ton of work on the bot. It looks beautiful. The forks are working great. Squire is now 1-0 in this original group stage. So, there's a very good chance that they're going to be making it into the knockout part of this bracket beginning tomorrow.
And so, just to let you know, every time that you get a tap or you get a knockout or you force your opponent to tap out, you get 3 points. If it goes to judge's decision and you win, it goes to 2 points. So Jordan just got the full 3 points there, which is where you want to be sitting as you go in, to the next round. You want to be able to rack up as many points as you can.
So we had a delivery from the chefs. This is one of the. I think this is part of the side armor package, or perhaps the weapon from Soggy Mustang. Kevin, the backyard scientist, was happy to leave this here with us at the desk. And we'll see how that comes in the judge's decision. And if Soggy Mustang takes that fight, I will take a bite of this thing.
I would prefer that you didn't.
Oh, wife, looking out for my well-being.
I just, can we get a little...
Now you can see where that...
chunks are just falling out.
I think this is part that got sucked under Fluffy.
Yeah, this is something all on its own. I just want, if this is a judged match, I want the judges to be able to see exactly... There's metal shards in this hot dog. Yes.
I'm getting word from Control that Soggy Mustang won that match. Are we sure about that?
No. All right. Can we go to cage 4 quick?
Let's go to cage 4.
Oh, so this is a good one. We've got Disinformation, which is the drum spinner built by Ray Billings in the pink corner. And then we have Floor Letter Word, built by Alex Curtis in the blue corner, which is going to look very reminiscent to a robot that you may have associated with Ray Billings in the past and present, Tombstone. So yeah, Ray knows a thing or two about fighting a bot like Tombstone. But as he said earlier today, his configuration, this drum spinner, is not the ideal matchup for a horizontal like Floor Letter Word. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup here.
You got to think, though, over the years building, his other very famous horizontal spinner, that maybe he's got an idea or two up his sleeve about how to approach this fight.
I sure hope so.
Fight, robots, fight.
You'll see standing next to Ray Billings in his corner is none other than Johnny Bahama.
I saw a belt already come off, and I do not see the weapon on Floor Letter Word spinning anymore. I think that belt came right off of...
Immediately on the first exchange, it looks like the belt has been stripped off of Floor Letter Word, meaning that Disinformation... Oh, wait, no, Disinformation is not spinning either. What is happening? We might just have a mini-bot brawl.
Yeah, going at full blast are both mini-bots, driven by Madeline and Johnny. Johnny's mini-bot is the one with the giant forks, while Madeline's is the miniature hijinks.
Oh, wow, and Johnny just landed a pin on Floor Letter Word using the mini-bot.
It looks like there is still some amount of movement, just not very controlled in Disinformation's weapon. Like it wants to spin. However, in Floor Letter Word, I haven't seen really any movement since that first initial hit. So this is just going to be a battle of control and a battle of the mini-bots.
It's going to be a little shoving match with two bots that are not really designed to shove. They're designed to just land that big hit and hopefully obliterate their opponent, but now they are just engaged in a slap fight, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, generally these are some of the most kinetic weapons that you'll see in a competition like this. But I no longer see the weapon on the mini hijink spinning, and I'm not sure if I can see one on the Peter bar either. So we got 4 robots, 0 weapons.
Makes for an exciting 50 seconds left in this match.
I will say Disinformation is doing a good job getting some pins on Floor Letter Word.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, release the grid.
Now in League, you can hold a pin for up to 10 seconds, and then you need to disengage, back off, and give your opponent a chance to drive away. And then you should get right back in there if in this circumstance, because pins are really all we got.
And it looks like Ray is trying to do just that. It does appear that there are some drive issues as well. Floor Letter Word, I think maybe is back with the drive, but has not been able to really capitalize on the control aspect versus Disinformation. We've got 2 seconds left. So this is another match that's going to go right to the judges. Despite not having an active weapon, it did seem like there was a little bit more life in Disinformation's Disinformation's drum than there was in Floor Letter Word's horizontal. But it's ultimately going to be up to the judges and who they think won that match based on points awarded for control, damage, and aggression.
Yeah, I don't anticipate the overall damage points determining the winner here. Of course, aggression, the points are awarded as how aggressive you are with that weapon. So when both of these primary weapons are down, they're going to defer to what's going on with the mini-bots. And but of course, the lion's share of the decision making here is going to come around those control points, and that's what the judges are evaluating. And we'll get the judge's decision to you here in just a moment.
Wow, that was... I don't think that Ray was expecting it to go that way. And for Ray, he is out here without his spare parts. So he flew out. He was trying to fix some things on his robot, really, in a haste. Had to pack everything up. Flew out from California, of course, to Connecticut. And when he got here, realized that his box of spares was at home in California. So that is being overnighted to us. And I think he's going to need some.
All right, so we have a very exciting match coming up in just a few matches. I want to introduce everyone out there to Knockoff White. Let's learn a little bit about Knockoff White.
I'm Adam Wrigley from Bots FC, Brooklyn, New York. We're here with Knockoff White, which is a featherweight. Knockoff White's most unique feature is our shuffling feet. So we don't have any wheels, we don't roll around, we kind of walk. The reason we do that is we get a 50% weight bonus. So I said featherweight, a lot of people say 30-pounder, but our robot weighs 45 pounds. So with that much extra weight, we can actually make a hammer competitive. If you try to make a hammer weigh exactly the same as another robot, it's tricky. It hops all over the place when you try to put enough power in it to do damage. But with that extra 50% weight bonus, we use actually one of the motors out of Shatter from BattleBots is powering the hammer in Knockoff White. So it has about half the power of our heavyweight robot stuffed into this 45-pound robot. So we get a lot of hammer power out of that. Knockoff White doesn't look that different right now, but we did make some reliability improvements on the inside. We got new batteries, new bearing holders, and things like that. We've got some new mini-bots that we're excited about. I always like to have new mini-bots. And I put a lot of effort into our safety covers. So we're real safe this tournament. There's a lot of kinetic energy in this tournament, a lot of spinners in this tournament. Our strategy is pretty simple with all of them. It's just be aggressive, get in there, stop them, and then hit them. We don't like to play it safe. We like to just be very, very aggressive. I think the fans have gotten to know that from our team, and we look to do more of the same this tournament. Knockoff White started off more like a pickaxe. It had an arm with a point at the end. Now we're using these sort of blade weapons, and we'll cut various different profiles in them. We find that they don't catastrophically fail. You're not going to rip the whole head off of them, so they can last the whole fight even when they get bent up. And then we can cut interesting profiles. So we have the Mary Special, which has like 10 different teeth on it to try and tangle into belts and things like that. We got the Paul Surprise, which is very, very pointy. It gets a lot of penetration. We're debuting a new weapon, which I call like the Spooky Blade, because it kind of looks like a ghoul. Just an interesting shape. It's shorter, so when we fight smaller robots, we don't overshoot them. So that's a new construction method, and I don't know really what to call it. Maybe it's a sword. They're all kind of sword-like. But we say hammer for simplicity. Yeah. NHRL is great. The community is awesome. Every time you come to a tournament, you learn something, you change something, you improve your robot, you see what other people are doing, you copy each other. And it's great. I mean, this has really pushed the sport ahead in these weight classes. The robots that are here now versus the robots that were here 2 years ago, it's leaps and bounds better. And everyone here is so helpful. We were chatting with our opponent tomorrow. He said, hey, if you need anything at all, come on over and we'll help you out. That's the attitude here, and it's great to see, and it's tons of fun.
Knockoff White, Adam Wrigley.
What a robot. This robot debuted back in 2022. It has had 10 career fights here at NHRL. It has gone 7-3, which is extremely impressive considering how many destructive kinetic robots are just in this league. So for a sword/hammer bot to have that type of record is really a testament to his driving.
It's very, very impressive. Although Knockoff White is in a group with Yahoo and Hotshot, it's going to be an absolute slugfest to see who gets out of that group.
Yeah.
All right, we have our judge decision in our last fight, and it looks like Disinformation has taken it. So Disinformation must have won that control game, and Ray and Disinformation are now 1-0.
All right, so looking good for Disinformation. Let's take a look over at what's going on in Cage 1.
All right. So we have Little Rip
And
versus Knockout.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Knockout in the blue corner. Little Rip coming out of the pink. Let's do this.
I'm not seeing a ton of weapon speed yet on Knockout.
Little Rip is doing just that, but it is currently high-centered on a midi-bot.
Ah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God. There's that weapon.
Knockout and Little Rip went head-to-head, but it was Little Rip that went flying.
Knockout really muscling Lil Rip around. Took them a second to get their bearings, but now, wow! All right, parts of the arena going flying.
Pizza everywhere, it's pandemonium.
Lil Rip not phased, still spinning, still trying to see what they can land on Knockout. Again, we're seeing the weapon down on Knockout. Not sure if it's intentional, but that weapon is going on Lil Rip.
Sounds like they're both spinning back up. Little Rip.
Wow!
Defensive pop on Knockout, but then Knockout returns with a big punch.
Knockout helping out Lil Rip maybe get unstuck.
Knockout
trying to keep this going.
Lining up that shot, trying to take off a wheel of Little Rip.
It does appear that there is some drive. Whoa! Some drive issues going on with Lil Rip. After the hits it received, I don't blame it.
Minute 20 seconds left in the match. It's been a slugfest. Love it.
Minibot getting a great pin on Lil Rip. High centering it so it can't get out. Now it has to release, but it was stuck there for just a second. Oh.
Little Rip just took out one of its own slices of pie. That'll happen.
Pizza on pizza violence is a problem. Wow.
Little Rip is still spinning with 40 seconds left on the clock, and Knockout is not. Can Little Rip capitalize on this and try to win back some of those damage points?
I am so impressed by the weapon on Lil Rip. However, now it is in a predicament.
Nobody likes an upside-down pie.
Yeah, if you delivered me an upside-down pizza, we're going to have some problems.
I've seen it.
Flo trying to unstick Lil Rip. Looks like maybe it was successful. The drive weapon still going on Lil Rip, but I can't say the same about Knockout, whose weapon appears to be down.
Little Rip tries to end the match with a couple of good exchanges. This is going to be a really interesting deliberation for the judges. We saw damage out the wazoo coming in both directions. Both bots were aggressive. You know, it's going to be a challenge, I would say.
I mean, the Durflers really got the better of almost every kinetic exchange during that match until their weapon died.
Right.
And even so, I'm not sure Lil Rip was able to capitalize with their weapon getting good bites on Knockout because their drive was also struggling. So it's going to be very interesting for the judges.
Let's take a look at this replay. There we saw that that first big exchange. And then it just was kind of a one-sided boxing match for that first 45-second period. And we'll eventually see when those tides turned a bit when the weapon went down on Knockout.
Yeah, that weapon reliability on Lil Rip, I think that might be the best I've seen it because those hits that it took were no joke. And I think it was trying to employ a little bit of a I'll break your face on my fist.
Right? When you build for reliability, that's something that you could always lean on. you know, we got to have a great interview with Anna and Little Rip at our World Championship, and we got to look inside the bot. We got to see close-ups of the weapon. It is really incredibly engineered, compartmentalized, and built really well. And Knockout is no exception either. It's a gorgeous bot. It really, really is.
All right, so I'm hearing that we are going right into Cage 4 because Knockoff White is ready to fight Hotshot.
Oh, wow. I'm seeing a lot of aluminum tape. So we have a very hot bot versus a bot that is mostly made out of plastic walking components. So this should be, I'm sure, very explosive and entertaining.
If Knockoff White can manage to stave off the heat that comes off of Hotshot, Hotshot has basically no top armor.
Right.
So Knockoff White wants to be able to get a pin.
And what happens when you stick a razor-sharp hammer into the top of a thruster engine spinning at 50,000 RPMs?
Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. There's evil henchman Sam.
Sam, very busy today.
Very, very busy, man. Very evil, very, very busy.
The more evil you are, the more bots you get to fight in this competition.
True. That's how it works.
Oh, now we see Hotshot showing off a little bit.
There's the robot getting up to its idling speed.
And that is allowed within the rules.
That's that high-pitch hum that you hear. And Knockoff White is just...
They look unfazed.
Yeah. They look calm and collected in the pink corner.
They are ready to stomp their way on over to Hotshot. Hopefully get a nice hit on that almost non-existent top armor. But will Hotshot let them? I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is that they're going to want to get over there on top of Hotshot before that thing has a chance to reach its full potential.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Here we go. Wow. Oh, you can feel the air moving around.
Woo!
Wow. Oh my God.
I'm scared.
Oh.
Wow.
Hotshot got up to full speed for a second there, and like, it was insane, and is now taking one shot after another over the head from Knockoff White.
Hotshot basically received a blow to the head for every single second of that pin.
Oh, and you see some smoke coming off of that afterburner.
Wow.
Oh,
no! Right as the countdown concluded, Hotshot had one more blast of fire.
Oh, no!
Oh, boy.
And that plume of smoke and burst of flame is the soul exiting the robot. And there you see Fluffy in the back, just its menacing eyes through the cloud of smoke. That looks like some battery smoke there.
That went just about as well as Knockoff White could have hoped. It landed, I lost count, maybe 15 to 20 blows from its sword hammer, completely incapacitating Hotshot. And now we are treated to some magic smoke.
Rich in vitamin something.
If only we could get some hot dogs in there, really make this a party.
Now, each of our cages here at NHRL are equipped with an incredible air removal system, able to displace, the entire cage of air in seconds. So even as this thing continues to dump out magic smoke, it goes up and out, sucked through an incredible ventilation system, and then, spit up into the sky where it floats up into the air and becomes stars.
It's really a beautiful process. Oh, I see some wires strewn about.
All right, let's take a look at the replay.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, we can't hear in the replay Hotshot getting up to full speed, but we will be able to see Knockoff White delivering all of those concussive blows to the top of Hotshot. And that was probably what did it right there.
My favorite thing about that pin was the pin was being counted down. You can pin, of course, for 10 seconds. It hit on basically every beat of the countdown. It was really a thing of beauty. Wow, that was decisive. But for a minute there, when Hotshot got up to full power,
yeah, he was just under the front of Knockoff White, delivering that superheated air to the undercarriage of Knockoff White. Who would, there was a chance that something terrible could have happened there.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the aluminum foil was maybe what saved them. I don't know how much it really did, but just the air that was generated by that robot was literally blowing the curtains under the cages.
Yeah, you feel it through the floor. All right, it sounds like we have a judge's decision from our previous fight, and there you have it.
Wow.
Knockout taking out Little Rip in this first round of the group. Little Rip is going to have another shot, but Knockout White goes to 1-0. And yeah. I'm sorry, Knockout. We just saw Knockoff White. Knockoff White.
I thought maybe it would be a split decision or a little bit closer, although some of the judges did score it more closely for Lil Rip. But yeah, I think that was the right decision ultimately, just because of the power of those hits that Knockout landed on Lil Rip.
All right, we have our 3-pound group overview coming up here. Let's take a look at what's happening in the 3-pounders.
Wow, so these are some really stacked groups, all of them. Man.
And there's a great diversity across every group. You have like a horizontal, a vertical, and then like your X Factor. You see Dutch Oven right there alongside of Synthesis and Monkfish. You have Mixtape there alongside Fireball and Droopy. This is such an awesome look into each of these groups. There are obviously some of the best 3-pounders ever made here at Havoc All-Stars. This is going to be such an incredible night.
Now, because the point system does favor knockouts, it's going to be hard for bots like Hot Wings or Crashfest to be able to land the 3 points that you get from a knockout. It's not going to obviously make it impossible for them to win. It's just going to change their road to victory a little bit. But I'm really excited to see Project LiftOff, because we have seen that bot precious few times this year. And I know that the Casmers are always iterating and always making it the best melty brain that it can possibly be. So we haven't seen it in a while. I'm really excited to see, what new they've added, how they've changed it. Is there AI in this one?
Yeah. The Casmers are the melty brain gurus of the planet, and they are fighting here at NHRL. Also, we saw in the 3-pounders Hot Wings, who I had a great interview with Eli and Hot Wings at our World Championship event. This is a really interesting bot that can hug you to death, but not by crushing you. The end of each of these arms has a diesel glow plug on it that is capable of getting thousands of degrees and just melts its way right into your heart.
That's so sweet. I love that. Now, as if I've summoned them, I see the Casmers here with Project LiftOff. I also see Robert Rund with Crashfest.
All right, and as we're queued up here on Cage 2, let's meet the folks behind the bots.
Here's Robert Rund and Crashfest.
The little sand shovel that could is Robert Rund's Crashfest. Don't let its McDonald's color scheme and lack of spinning weapon throw you off. This one's a real fighter, able to upend its opponents and put them into positions from which they cannot recover.
Meet Jim Casmer and Project LiftOff.
The only melty brain spinner in all of Havoc All-Stars is Project LiftOff. This one spins around in a circle ever so rapidly using an onboard computer to translate around the arena, whacking into their opponents.
All right, and there you see Crashfest. It looks like something that you'd bring to the beach if you're there to destroy your enemies.
That's often what I go to the beach for.
Yes, it's like Point Break every day here at NHRL. Now, he's going to be going off against Project LiftOff. Now, my guess is that Crashfest and Robert are going to try to do everything possible to stay on top of Project LiftOff, not letting that melty brain get up to full speed. Oh, look at that. Looks like our plywood has seen a little bit of, it's become askew.
The seam is too big. Robert Rund will not have it. This does not meet his specifications. Or frankly, I think that Project LiftOff would have a difficult time maneuvering that as well.
I get it. I would trip over that.
All right, it looks like we're going to have to figure out how to fix that. That is quite a sizable seam.
My guess is that another screw or something like that will probably pop that right back into place underneath. You know, between all of our events here, and sometimes even during the events, we need to swap these floors out because some of these bots are just so destructive that they can obliterate this plywood floor in the matter of seconds. And so all of our cages here at NHRL are built to be kind of hot swapped in and out. Lexan panels, plywood floors, side rails. These things come apart quickly and they can be put back together really quickly so that we can get on with our live tournaments.
Now, not only the floors have had a lot of thought put into them, but the amount of cameras in these cages have and care about what cameras go into these cages have really changed and progressed over the years. It's always been a big matter of discussion. As we see this iPhone just free.
Yes. We have, I think, at any given time here at NHRL, more iPhones than a Mac store.
It gives me anxiety because of how easily these iPhones could get hit and destroyed.
Let's give a shout out to one of our crew here, Vincent, who sets up all of these cameras, dozens of them throughout all of our 8 cages here. There you see another one poking through a hole in the corner. Each corner in our cages has one of these iPhones kind of stashed away. And now you also see that we have some mounted up a little bit higher to catch some of that action from above.
We've used GoPros in the past, but I think that we just recently switched to the iPhone camera, and we're finding that this provides some of the best clear footage for the price. So you're probably not going to want to make any calls with these iPhones, but they do look really good. Oh, shout out to Eamon. Fixing that floor like a pro.
So it sounds, yeah, currently there are 24 iPhones just rolling. Just cages 1 through 4. That's here in our main arena. That's a lot. that's a lot of Apple points that you can get.
All right, Eamon, who really does almost everything here at NHRL, among them fixing the floors in our cages. He is a true hero, one of the unsung silent heroes behind the scenes. Looks like the team's still there, though, Eamon.
Yeah. Oh.
I think he's just changing out. Yep. Oh, he's getting some more screws.
So think about it. Crashfest has these razor sharp, I think they're AR500, Robert, right? They're AR500 forks on the front of Crashfest. Oh, I'm sorry. AR600.
He was very quick to correct you there.
So yeah, some of the best ballistic steel on Earth are on the front of this weaponized beach toy. And so those things are razor sharp. You don't want to get caught on something as simple as like a slightly lifted plywood floor. And the same goes for Project LiftOff.
Oh, yeah.
It needs a good stable surface to get that full RPM up to speed. So a melty brain is really interesting. The entire robot is the weapon. It's 2 kind of, I think they're titanium toothed wheels, spin the entire robot around perfectly in a circle, getting up to this top speed, and then these two teeth that kind of stick out the side of the robot are what grab its opponent and deliver all of that energy into it. So even if the floor is a little bit off, that could knock Project LiftOff off kilter. And like we just saw, Robert, with those AR 600 forks, shaved down to a razor sharp tip, also doesn't want to get caught on that little plywood lip. So it looks like this is starting to lift out now.
They're
Thumb
giving
for
it a
scale.
little test.
That looks pretty smooth.
Are they giving it the go-ahead?
It looks like Robert is turning his robot on. So my guess is that this is gonna go.
They're deliberating. I'm on the edge of my seat. Seam gate. Is it over? Is it resolved? Is it ongoing? We don't know.
The doors are closing.
The seam has been fixed. We're ready to kick this off.
I'm bursting at the seams.
One of the most kinetic robots in the 3-pound class versus the dominating control of Crashfest.
With a little shovel.
That shovel does a lot.
The little shovel that could.
I would not be surprised if that little shovel gets Project LiftOff hung up on the rails. Or it's going to be sent flying by Project LiftOff's pure kinetic chaos. I don't know.
Cage 2 locked and loaded. Robert Run and Crashfest. In the pink corner. Jim Kazmer, Project LiftOff in the blue.
Crashfest, are you ready? The match Cage 2 will begin in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots.
Woo! There we go. You see Project LiftOff spinning up. Crashfest doing what Crashfest does, getting on top of Project LiftOff, trying to catch up to it, but it's like, it's like trying to fire a bullet at another moving bullet. It's really hard to predict where Project LiftOff's going to be at any second.
It's almost like every time it is able to get a bite on Project LiftOff, Project LiftOff is able to just kind of slap it away.
Yeah, it's like an air hockey disc. It just, like, 1 second it's in front of you, the next second it's hitting you in the back of the head.
Crashfest is known for being one of the most controlling robots here, whether All-Stars or in this entire league, and it cannot seem to get under Project LiftOff. Not because its forks aren't able to get under, it just gets knocked away.
Project LiftOff, one of the things that is very challenging about the design is once you start kind of rocketing around the arena, it's really hard to kind of stabilize. Oh, wow.
There we go.
Crashfest makes a Project LiftOff hat.
This is what Crashfest has been hoping for this entire time. It can only do it for 3 more seconds until it has to let it go.
Completes the 10-second pin.
Now, historically, Melty Brains have been extremely difficult to control, but this is one of the most maneuverable, controllable versions that we have seen to date. Wow.
Oh, wow. Tipping it up onto Brett, our Housebot in Cage 2.
Incredible work from Robert Rund. Another pin. This is what, 3 or 4 now? Really dominating that control.
But with still a full minute left in the match, you can never count out Project LiftOff. It only takes 1 good hit.
Absolutely.
Oh,
wow. It does seem like Project LiftOff is having trouble getting to full speed. This is not as fast as it can go. I don't know if it's because Crashfest has been able to prevent it, or there's another issue going on with the robot.
there we go. Spin up.
There we go.
Those AR-600 forks are definitely putting in their time in this fight.
Crashfest has been doing an incredible job just keeping up with Project LiftOff so that every time it does spin down just a little bit, it can take advantage.
And Project LiftOff is tipped up onto the side rail.
It's going to get its unstick here from Brett. But there's only 10 seconds left.
Immediately moving back in for another pin or a tip.
That's the match. We're going to the judges.
Great display of driving from Robert and Crashfest.
Now, Crashfest, it's very difficult for a bot like that to ever get a knockout, but it was able to show a lot of control. So
let's take a look at the replay.
For the first, I don't know, let's say minute and a half of the match, Crashfest could not get under Project LiftOff because every time it tried, it was simply batted away from the speed of the flying teeth on Project LiftOff. But as that bot started to spin down, it was not moving quite as fast. And because of the aggressive driving, Crashfest was always there to be able to take advantage of those moments where he could get under and score those pins.
So like we said, this will go to a judge's decision. We'll get you that answer in just a bit. While we wait for that judge's decision, Cage 3 is loading up. And let's find out who is behind these bots.
Meet Brian Boxel and Fireball.
Brian Boxel has always had his eye on the prize, and that prize has almost always been Calvin Eba. He gets his shot against Mixtape with Fireball, his 3-pound vertical spinner with a gyro-canceling flywheel.
Here's Calvin Eba and Mixtape.
Along with Tommy Wong, Calvin Eba is the only other person to win a Golden Brett in the 3-pound weight class, and he's in this heat as well with his meta-shifting robot, Mixtape. This flamethrower is responsible for turning so many robots into puddles of goo that all of them now bring aluminum tape in their toolboxes to prevent the gooification.
Cage 3, so between Fireball and Mixtape, things are gonna get hot, hot, hot.
I'm so excited. So Brian's classic look here with the sunglasses is being imitated by his rival, Calvin.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
All right, let's do this.
Wow, the speed out of Fireball is insane.
Great,
But
great.
so are the flames from Mixtape.
Wow. Oh!
That was a big hit.
Mixtape brings 30-pound fire to the 3-pound arena. It's almost hard to even see the exchanges in this maelstrom of flames.
Fireball trying to square up with Mixtape, but because of the flames, it acts as a great keep-away stick. And, yeah, obfuscates where Mixtape really is. Wow. Oh, boy. A little flip for Mixtape there.
Ooh, Mixtape is currently on the rails, and that's not where you want to be against Fireball. Calvin tries to self-right by crashing into the side rail.
Yeah, Fireball really tried to take advantage of that opportunity it had on Mixtape and was able to send it flying a couple times. Really would like to do that again, I'm
but
sure.
now Fireball's upside down. Now Calvin, what he needs to try to do with those forks is get under Fireball, get that pin, and then drop that flame down for 10 seconds. But Fireball is upside down. Mixtape is on top of it. The flames are engulfing Fireball. Oh my goodness! Wow!
Brian having a tough time self-righting because he's just engulfed in flames.
Oh, this is hot!
And we got a tap out.
Yes, there was a tap.
Tap out.
Wow. When you are fighting a bot with that level of heat and that level of flame, there's very little room for error. Brian was driving an incredible match at the beginning, and then once he landed on his head, was just not able to self-right. making him a sitting duck for those flames.
Now, yeah, in the
Still on
3-pound
fire.
Group B, Fireball, Brian making perhaps the right decision to go ahead and tap out. Still have another chance to move on into the tournament for elimination beginning tomorrow. Let me tell you, Lindsay, it's like if you're up against a horizontal or a vertical, you know, you might lose a wheel. You might have part of your armor destroyed. But like when you're up against a bot like Mixtape, there might be nothing left of your bot if you hang in there too long.
Absolutely. I mean, we have all seen what happened to Hurt Caboose last year.
Yes.
Turned into a smoldering pile of goo by the end of it. Brian knows that he has another tough matchup after this, and he wants to salvage what he can of this bot to give him the best fighting chance going into the rest of the group.
Let's take a look at this spicy replay. It's like your eyeballs don't even know where to look. Fireball's just so fast, it's all over the place, and then you just have this cascade of flames kind of pouring out of the front of Mixtape.
I feel like, you know, everybody can have a plan going into a fight against Mixtape, and then once you're in it, you can't control for those flames. There's no way to really get around them.
There you see Calvin with the UV shades on. I think that helps him track his own bot.
Yeah, at first I thought he was just paying homage to Brian's style, but I think maybe it actually serves a purpose for these flames.
There you see a couple of those great pops from Fireball, but at one point then Fireball becomes inverted, and Mixtape was just able to capitalize on that and started really gooifying Fireball.
And Brian did a great job really capitalizing at first when Mixtape was in that vulnerable position. Unfortunately for him, the roles kind of reversed. Mixtape was able to get back on its side, and Fireball was the one on its head. Once that happened, it was just game over.
I love this at NHRL. I say it, I'll say it again. Fire can win.
We have a judge's
All
decision.
right, sounds like we have a judge's decision for that last fight. Let's see. All right, and there it is. Robert and Crashfest taking every judge's decision. Crashfest is now 1-0.
Congratulations, Crashfest. Proves that you can have a non-kinetic weapon and still take the vast majority of points. That wasn't even a close judge's decision. That he took the lion's share of those points.
All right, so we just saw a really, really hot match, but we're gonna go even hotter now.
What?
And we're gonna learn a little bit about hot wings.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Eli Davis and his incredibly ingenuitive and fun and hot bot, Hot Wings. Eli, this is one of the coolest designs. I've been telling people this now for the last year. This is my favorite bot in combat robotics. You have blended so many different things that I really love.
Hot Wings is my favorite robot too, actually. I use these big forks and drive right up on the opponent and grab them. And at the end of each arm, these are automotive glow plugs from a diesel engine. And I have these hooked up to my 16-volt battery. So these babies heat up, you know, within seconds, and they get glowing hot. So if I'm able to touch anywhere on a plastic part, on their wheels, this is gonna start melting right through.
So each one of these grabbers is essentially fit with one of these glow plugs that then will press into your opponent. There's no such thing as like an aluminum tape that will protect you. Do you know how hot these tips actually get?
Yeah, these tips get up to about 1,000 degrees Celsius. And that's gonna go through any sort of tape, you know, any sort of protection you put on there, unless it's you know, a sheet of metal, basically. That's the only thing that's gonna save you. So, I mean, for me, I thought it was a great idea in the 3-pound class. There's a lot of 3D printing going on, a lot of plastic parts. So I thought it might be competitive, and you know, I'm pretty happy so far with the results. So
normally these things are designed to have 12 volts dumped into them. You're dumping more energy into these, right?
That's right. Yeah, a normal car battery operates at about 12 volts. But my system is a little bit higher than that. So I actually have a custom regulation board in here so that I can kind of control the temperature of the tips, keep them from burning out, but also when I need it, crank it up to full power, once I grab someone. I think I could do some improvements in terms of the arm length or the arm angle of attack to potentially wrap around robots a little bit more. Also, just like maybe adding more of these. Imagine I had one coming down from the top. Imagine I had multiple on the sides, giving me a wider area of attack. I think that could be really effective. But offense and defense, I think, has to be balanced really well. If you go too hard on the offense, you leave yourself open, I think, to some vulnerable attacks. But
thank you for bringing Hot Wings to NHRL.
I really love the level of specificity you're able to get in that interview with Eli. It's such a fascinating robot. What were some of your main takeaways? Like, what did you learn from Eli that really intrigued you?
Well, so I had tried to deploy a diesel glow plug in the past unsuccessfully, and it was incredible to see Eli's brain work and diagnose what's the best way to get the highest output out of these glow plugs. And that's why Eli's one of my all-time favorite builders, and Hot Wings is one of my all-time favorite bots. This is one of my favorite groups, actually, in the 3-pound division. Let's take a look at who Eli is going to be facing.
Here's Keziah Sky and
Chainsaw Kitty.
Representing Team Vertical in Heat C is Chainsaw Kitty. Keziah is looking to send her opponents skyward with roof shot after roof shot. And as long as her exposed weapon motor holds up, I think she can do it.
it's Eli Davis and
Hot Wings.
Finally, in Heat C, representing Team Other, it's Hot Wings. This one's got a pair of articulated wings armed with white hot diesel glow plugs looking to melt, burn, penetrate, cauterize, I don't know, destroy their opponent.
All right, cage 2.
There it is, Hot Wings itself and the blue square, ready to fight Chainsaw Kitty in the pink.
Chainsaw Kitty, Keziah, also
5,
one of my favorite
4,
bots here at
3,
All-Stars.
2,
I don't want anyone to lose
Robots fight.
That's the problem, is you don't want to lose. Ooh, okay.
There you see the wingspan on Hot Wings
Wow.
compared to another standard beetle weight. Ooh,
right.
Keziah with a great pin on Hot Wings.
Normally Hot Wings is the one that pins, but it's in a predicament here, kind of caught on Brett. I don't know if it's mobile. We've had, okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
It looks like there might be an issue with the left side of that walking mechanism on Hot Wings. Now, Hot Wings does not have traditional movement. It has little shuffler feet. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of movement coming out of the left side of this bot. I wonder if it was just high-centered. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, something does not look right.
We see one of the glow plugs has been stripped out of the left side of Hot Wings.
That is some critical damage on a bot that is actually very hard to land some destruction on. Chainsaw Kitty taking its time, not really sure what is going on with Hot Wings. But Hot Wings taking that opportunity to pin Chainsaw Kitty right back.
There is a pin, but it looks like its right arm is badly broken.
It's only a flesh wound.
So its left glow plug has been destroyed, but its right glow plug is working fine, just it happens to be on a broken wing.
And Chainsaw Kitty is now having some drive issues as well. I'm not sure what caused that. This is not both bots at their very best. I'm not sure what may have caused that, but Chainsaw Kitty has released itself. Its drive looking a little better.
All right, our ref has called for Hot Wings to show motion. We hear a countdown.
It's trying to... Oh! Wow, with 3 seconds left.
Oh,
just barely.
That was close. That was a close call. 45 seconds left in the match.
And now Chainsaw Kitty
is getting a call to show motion. Unstick.
Oh, not a tap out, not a tap out, unstick. right, we're being told that that is the end of the match. Time has run out. This is going to be going to the judges. This was a very unusual match, not typically what we see from either Hot Wings or Chainsaw Kitty for that matter for much of that match.
Certainly have our fair share of gremlins in Cage 2 right now. Maybe we queue up a replay and just kind of see some of the exchanges that happened that might have caused this.
Eli not looking pleased there. I see some looks of confusion on Keziah as well. This is not how either of these builders, I think, envisioned that match going. All right, let's look at the replay here. So right off the bat, it looked like the shuffler pods on Hot Wings were having some issues. I don't know if it was a first hit damage or if it was just something that the bot went into, you know, right off the bat. Started to kind of get its bearings a little bit, but Chainsaw Kitty was able to.
Oh, and there you see the tip of that glow plug got stripped off. And that was the end of Hot Wings' left arm.
So that is a very important piece of damage for Chainsaw Kitty to be able to claim in this match, you know, as the judges deliberate, because it is going to be a little bit difficult for the judges, I think, to kind of score that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, I'm curious to hear more from the builders exactly what happened in that match.
Yeah.
We got some action starting here around Cage 3.
Very excited here. It looks like we have Dutch Oven.
All right, versus Synthesis.
Another fire versus kinetic weapon.
Either way, we're about to be entertained.
Oh, yeah. We see Alex Grant and Aaron Hill and the rest of Seems Reasonable manning Dutch Oven. Meanwhile, Corey Nason with Synthesis.
Ah, Dutch Oven looks so cute. Those big doe eyes, that fire-breathing mouth.
That's a new addition, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a little more personality.
So cute.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Wow. Synthesis sending the mini-bot on Dutch Oven.
Wow! Look at that heat! Wow! Dutch Oven! Calm down! Look at the flames coming out of that thing. It's insane.
Dutch Oven trying to disengage, not being able to, meanwhile still shooting those hot flames right into Synthesis.
Tap out.
Oh.
Alex Grant, Dutch Oven.
Man.
Absolutely spit roasting Synthesis. This thing looks like it's now Cajun.
Wow, still on fire. Dutch Oven helping it move towards the front of the box to get extinguished.
Wow. That is not something easy to pull off on Synthesis. Synthesis, of course, had one of the all-time greatest combat robotics matches this year up against Lynx and Droopy.
Completely eviscerating two former champions, but it just could not get out of the way of those flames. Even after that pin was supposed to be ended, they couldn't disengage, and the flames just kept coming. And as a result, Synthesis is still on fire. Heating up those internals, frying whatever inside, melting whatever plastic there might be. This is not what Corey was hoping for. They're now negotiating how to open the door and extinguish it. But let's
look at that.
Wow.
Just engulfed.
Wow. Wow.
And then the weapon on Division spinning is actually just sucking some of that intense heat into the guts of the bot, and that's all she wrote.
I mean, this looks like a different type of flame than we've seen from a bot like, let's say, Mixtape.
Right. Alex gave us a very close look inside of Dutch Oven. It's a completely custom-engineered flame delivery system, air mixer. It's gorgeous. 3D printed metal. I'm blown away about what's inside of Dutch Oven, which now with its little facelift, you would never anticipate that much technology is living inside of this thing. But I'll tell you, who does know is Synthesis.
However, I do want to point out that Dutch Oven now looks blind. I don't think its eyes survived the level of flame that it was able to produce. Maybe that's why they've never bothered putting eyes on it before.
All right, I'm getting word we have an important update. Wow. So there was an accidental tap out in the last match between Chainsaw Kitty and Hot Wings. There is a tap out button and like an unstick button on the side of the box. The wrong button was pressed by mistake, meaning that Kazaya and Chainsaw Kitty have tapped out, meaning that Eli and Hot Wings was the winner of that match.
That's how it goes. You know, in the heat of the moment, it can be easy to kind of mix up the buttons, but that's why it's so important to stay focused and hit the correct one, because if you're asking for an unstick, but you hit the tap out, like we're learning now, it's not a forgiving process.
Yeah, it's true. There's so much technology here on the back end. Our buttons are integrated into the overall bracket system. That's why the protocol, it's so important to follow here, because it's what allows us to have a live tournament here work so smoothly.
Right.
All right, it looks like we're going to be jumping into some 12-pound action coming up here in a bit. So let's take a look at what's going on with these 12-pound groups. Again, A, B, C, and D, and some of our favorite 12-pounders of all time are joining us here at Havoc All-Stars.
I'm looking specifically, I mean, none of these are a cakewalk by any means. These are all all-stars. They're here for a reason. But looking at Group D, we have Saiko, who was ranked at the top of the 12-pound, division throughout the year. Minor Threat 5, who has won, I believe, Motorama, other competitions out there. Bobby, who is a former dumpster winner. I mean, everyone in that category is a contender for this entire tournament, but only 2 of them in Group D are going to be able to make it through.
We're going to go over to Cage 4, where we currently have Sombra 12 versus HoneyShock. HoneyShock, you can't miss them. They are the ones that are in Bumblebee attire. Oh, it was so cool. HoneyShock upstairs in the pits, as part of the tailgate experience, have built this incredible build-your-own rocket, where you can go to a station, build a rocket out of paper, and then they launch it off of, I don't know how many PSI it was, but an air launcher. It's so fun.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
And then, of course, Sombra 12. Woo! Coming all the way here to NHRL from Brazil.
I was watching Sombra 12, Tomas and team spin up in the test box, and that is an extremely controlled robot, especially considering how hard it hits and how fast it spins. But HoneyShock now starting to get the better of these engagements, and it looks like there might be some drive issues.
Sombra 12's mini bot is currently under the main bot of HoneyShock, high centering it, counting it as a pin. The judges are now have completed the 10-second countdown and are now asking for an unstick to free HoneyShock off the top of the mini bot of Sombra 12.
Yeah, it looks like the mini bot was having issues getting out from under HoneyShock. Shouldn't count against HoneyShock's countouts though, or unsticks, I should say.
Right. An unstick is, when they actually have to separate bots, it's different than when you're calling for an unstick.
Now, Sombra on the receiving end of another pin from HoneyShock.
And it looks like maybe the weapon on Sombra 12 might be seized up, or maybe they're just trying to prevent spinning up in a dangerous situation. But HoneyShock might have actually taken out Sombra 12's weapon.
Wow.
That'd be huge for HoneyShock.
After winning many of the initial exchanges, Sombra 12 now appears to be in some trouble here. HoneyShock dominating the control at this point in the bout. Sombra trying desperately to kind of claw its way back, but it appears to have some issues with one drive side and the weapon.
Wow. That is not a place that you want to be right now for Sombra 12. Tomas trying to do everything that he can to hang in there for one more minute of this match. You never know what could happen, but Team HoneyShock is all over it right now.
Some really impressive driving here.
Looks like Sombra's trying to resurrect that weapon, but something must be bent on the internals of that weapon assembly.
Yeah. Oh, now Stack is going for the mini bot on Sombra. Not content to let Sombra just get counted out in the corner. This is a really impressive outing for Stack and HoneyShock.
Sombra is freed up, but with only 10 seconds left in the match.
HoneyShock trying to end on a pin. That's a really impressive way to show the judges what you can do. Zoe, one of the most amazing coaches out there, congratulating Stack on what is likely a win. I know how much time and effort and resources both of these teams pour into their robots. AGVS, they are tireless. They fly from Brazil to Connecticut. How many times a year to fight here?
Right, and then they're always like the first ones in the building, and then they're like, they have to be like escorted out by security after closing because they just want to keep working, keep refining, keep pushing. What an incredible dedicated team, both teams.
Wow, so I mean, really, you can see here how much Sombra 12 was able to dominate the early part of that competition, but it's not just about can you get the better part of each exchange, it's can you keep doing that for the entire 3 minutes. That resiliency of your weapon, that resiliency of your drive, it has to be there because if the other bot can outlast you just a little bit longer, that's what it comes down to.
All right. While we await on that judge's decision, let's meet for our next fight who are the people behind the bots.
Here's Liam King and Buzz-Kill.
Team Honeycrack's Liam King brings Buzz-Kill. With a year of development and nearly 24 fights under his belt, Liam has fully optimized Buzz-Kill to become a lethal, undercutting machine.
Meet Anthony D'Ambrosio and Darkstar.
Tony D'Ambrosio has just about more connections in the fighting robot scene than anyone. He's leveraged those connections and scaled up every lesson he's learned in his 3-pound beater bar robot, Blackbird, to optimize Darkstar, his latest 12-pound beater bar bot with a multitude of configurations for each potential opponent.
All right, going into cage one, we have Buzz-Kill there in the pink corner, and we have Anthony D'Ambrosio and Darkstar in the blue corner. Buzz-Kill from Liam King.
Darkstar from Anthony D'Ambrosio.
3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Now it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, Buzz-Kill has what appears to be a cam lifter as a mini bot.
Oh boy.
Oh, and those forks are now crossed. Wow, some big hits here.
Darkstar has brought back these new paddles on the front, able to kind of corral its opponent and deliver it into that vertical. This was a relatively new invention from Anthony D'Ambrosio and Darkstar, and it works so well in its initial bouts that I think it's just going to become a permanent part of it.
Yeah, I heard Anthony talking with the team behind Cthulhu earlier, and he said that he was bringing those battles out for them too. So I think he's really found that these do him a lot of good. We can see that here right now against Buzz-Kill. Although there might again be some drive issues on Darkstar. Whoa!
Oh, wow!
Oh, no!
Oh my goodness! The entire weapon has been ripped off of Darkstar. Oh, wow!
Those paddles only help so much when you have no weapon. Oh, Tony.
Oh, wow. Tony's still, he's down. You see, he gets right back into his defensive stance. He's
Tony
gonna see.
doesn't tap.
I mean, Darkstar is still a great bot to kind of control and corral. He wants to maybe try to grab Buzz-Kill, push that weapon into a wall.
Wow.
See if he can break it, but that's a tall order with minute 20 seconds left in the match, though.
Wow. Well done, Liam. Oh, Anthony not looking pleased there. I don't know what type of repairs go into completely reassembling your whole weapon system.
I mean, I see, like, there's the weapon, there's the whole shaft, there's the pulley. I wonder if it was just, like, if it was just something that actually affixed the weapon in, got stripped off, and then the whole weapon was able to kind of snap out and go free. It's.
Wow.
I mean, the bot's still working. So
yeah.
Hopefully it's not too difficult of a fix.
I'm almost surprised that he tapped out because he would have been able to still get some, control points, maybe some aggression by pursuing. But
He lost one of those defensive paddles, meaning that he's down to one. If he loses that one, then it's just game on.
No, I really have to give props to Team Honeycracked. Using grant money that they received from NHRL last year, they were able to build, or actually purchase a pretty heavy-duty test box, and they have been at it testing their robots, driving just relentlessly, improving time over time, and we are seeing those results here. And there you have it. There you have it. Buzz-Kill, all the hard work and effort paying off, completely disassembling the weapon from Darkstar. I've never seen that. Wow. And he wanted to tap out there, and he said, you know what? Let's give it a little bit more time. Ultimately, though, he did end up calling it. Wow. What an incredible match.
Whew. Wow, I'm out of breath after that one.
Now, I believe you're guaranteed about an hour for repairs. So I'm hoping that he's able to kind of, work on that. But that is a lot of damage. Maybe the most that we've seen so far today.
All right, and we have the judge's decision from the previous fight. Let's take a look. And there you have it.
There you have it.
HoneyShock defeating Sombra 12.
Decisively.
Yeah, HoneyShock now 1-0. But Sombra 12 still has a shot to make it out of their group.
Team Honeycracked, I think, going, 2 for 2 here.
That seems to be the buzz.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is there's been a lot of destruction here tonight. There's been a lot of fire. I cannot believe the level of it's All-Stars, of course. What do you expect? But the night is young.
The night is young, yeah. And speaking of, let's go to Cage 4.
Chris.
Oh, boy. So in Cage 4, we have Minor Threat 5 versus Bobby. There you see that lovable sociopath there with the little tiny blue hat and the large foam wheels. Versus Minor Threat 5, a really punishing vert.
Lucas Grell has been fighting with Minor Threat 5 for a long time now. He is a veteran, but so is Jonathan Clark with Bobby here. So this is really going to be a lot of experience going at it. I do want to shout out Jonathan's personal Bobby hat.
That is a custom printed TPU hat that is currently sitting on top of Jonathan's head to match that found on Bobby. It is, it's got a heft to it. So, you know, I wonder how long he can wear that thing before his neck gives out.
And you know, Jonathan shares that same sociopathic glare that Bobby does.
It's one of my favorite things about him.
I love Jonathan.
4, Look at it. He printed at a TPU. He said it was like something like 14 hours to print it.
Wow, here we go. All right. Woo! That first hit completely sending Minor Threat pirouetting through the box.
Now, if you're new to our league here and the design of Bobby is very different. It's got these large foam wheels that kind of elevate the main chassis up off the ground, and it's got a horizontal spinner that you can't even see spinning. It's spinning so fast, kind of situated right under the center of the bot. So it can deliver those hits to very interesting places, and it has very interesting physics behind it.
Minor Threat 5 is spending more time in the air this match than on the floor.
Ooh.
I don't hear the weapon any longer in Minor Threat 5. Something looks a little bit askew there.
I think one of those exchanges against the horizontal of Bobby might have actually kind of knocked that weapon offline, might have sniped a belt. I can't tell. It looks like it is flicking. It is moving a little bit, but it's just not able to kind of spin up to full speed. Maybe something got pinched.
We are seeing a little bit of wheel damage on Bobby, but that's no concern for him. Oh. Flipped on his head a little bit, but that's okay.
He's still smiling.
Tap.
And there's your tap out. Luke Grell and Minor Threat 5 will go on to fight again in their group. But Bobby and Jonathan are your winner.
Man, that was violent. And Minor Threat 5 is a serious contender. This robot is no slouch, and to get that much damage from Bobby, it just shows why year after year after year after year, Bobby is such a tried and true design and is a really formidable opponent. And I think that hat was maybe a little bit of good luck.
I agree.
Now, I was talking with Jonathan in the pits, and I learned that hat took 48 hours.
Oh, 48. I said 14. It was, it's 48 hours to print a TPU hat.
All worth it, though, because I think it gave him the edge here.
I'm pretty sure Jonathan's going to start selling these Bobby hats. They're only going to be about $16,000 each.
Sign me up. I'm first on that customer list.
Do you take a firm?
How about Klarna?
You got to take out a mortgage.
Wow, that was something.
Yeah, very, very exciting. All right, we have, I think, one more. Is there one more fight in the 12s? No, I think that actually wraps up the 12-pound portion of this bracket.
Wow.
Oh, no, that's right. Okay, we are waiting on Blackjack and Tough Love.
They're on their way down. They heard you calling the 12 pounds over, and they were like, you know what?
We slept in. Oh,
no. Blackjack, a very exciting robot from Drew Davis, who has just been a perennial contender here time after time after time. And then Tough Love is actually a new robot from Leanne Cushing, who has been a contender here in the past. She's actually, if I can go ahead and say it, I think maybe the reason why we are all here today. She introduced the founder, Austin McCord, to the wide world of robot combat. So I think if it wasn't for her, there's a very highly likelihood that we wouldn't be here. So I really want to give credit for Leanne, going out on a whim and introducing Austin to this.
I'm really curious to see what kind of bot Tough Love is that she's brought here today. But let's meet some of the folks behind these bots.
Meet Leanne Cushing and Tough Love.
Robot combat veteran Leanne Cushing returns to her roots with Tough Love. This powerful four-wheel drive undercutting robot is not only looking to break robot parts, but also robot hearts.
Meet Andrew Davis and Blackjack.
From Schenectady, New York, Drew Davis is a conduit for NHRL, funneling perspective builders into the sport from his position as a 10th grade English teacher. He brings Blackjack, his premier 12-pound vertical spinning robot, which is a scaled-up version of his most popular 3-pounder, Jack Move.
All right, we're in cage 1. There we see Blackjack on the left and Tough Love in the blue chassis heading over to the blue corner.
It almost blends right in.
Camouflage.
Both with the corner and Leanne's hair. I love it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight.
All right, let's see what Tough Love can do.
Tough Love quick out of the corner. Blackjack taking his time a little bit. Trying to pin Tough Love in its own corner.
Looks like Tough Love has a pretty substantial armor package all the way around the outside of the bot, but that weapon is not spinning on Tough Love.
Leanne is known for, being the queen of these undercutter designs. But Blackjack positively sending it through the air.
There's definitely some kind of mechanical issue happening with Tough Love. So Leanne taps out to see perhaps if she can diagnose what's exactly happening on the inside of the robot so she can salvage her next fight in this group.
And with new bots, there's always going to be some level of, gremlins to work out, teething issues, whatnot.
Amen.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about that.
As someone who only brings first-time bots, and that's generally where they stay. Yeah, I know.
All right, so that is a quick knockout for Drew Davis. All right, let's take a look at this replay here. Tough Love, quick out of the box.
Ultimately, it doesn't look like it took a lot of damage, so hopefully the repairs are going to be quick and that issue can be diagnosed so Tough Love can get back to it.
Yeah, and I think you rightly recognize that there was quite a bit of armor on Tough Love, so probably in many matches it's going to be able to evade some of the more catastrophic damage, but if it can't deal out damage itself, it's going to be in a tough spot.
Yeah. Wow, we've seen some great matches here across 30s, 12s, and 3s.
I think that Drew Davis really embodies so much of what is good about this sport. He shows up, I would say, every single time for years since we've been coming way back in the 50-Day Street days in 2019. It's really incredible to see how he's grown.
Yeah.
And not only, him and his robots, but he often brings his children who he lets drive and build their own robots. And it's something that really warms my heart. And I think that that's what also makes robot combat very special. It's great for people who are wanting to, strike out on their own and kind of build their own thing, do their own thing. But then it's also an amazing thing to share with your family. People of all ages can get involved. And I think that Drew really is able to demonstrate that magic, right? If you have kids or family or friends, it's something that you can do together. and you can kind of bond in a new way.
Yeah, Drew was recognized as one of those people for NHRL this year that helps really bring this community together. There was a great pool of names for these people that are kind of the stewards of our community, bringing people into the sport of combat robotics. He's an English teacher in high school in Schenectady, and that is he's just one of those people. He's one of those people that knows how to raise the flag and bring people into the tent, and I absolutely salute Drew for that. Thank you, Drew.
Yeah, but man, I mean, you can say so much about every single builder here in this competition. They're not all-stars by accident. They're not, here because for whatever reason. These people are deliberately here because they bring so much to the sport.
All right, so we're going to learn a little bit more about what we have here at Havoc All-Stars, the Havoc Challenge. To learn a little bit more about this, we're going to go up to the pits to Sam. Sam, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris and Lindsay. Yes, I am up here in the pits with Emily the engineer and Peter Sreeple. And today, earlier today, they started to put together the Eric robot as a part of the Academy Challenge. And so, Emily, what was it like putting together this robot today?
Honestly, it was pretty cool. I mean, like, some of the stuff is out of my expertise zone, like the whole remote control, connecting, things like that, I'm not used to doing, but it was kind of cool to learn stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of clever too, the mechanism and everything.
And we know this is a prototype for the Academy, so what were some of the challenges that you faced when putting it together?
Some of the challenges, I'd say maybe fitting everything in there. It's kind of cramped a little bit, but also you kind of need it to be all packed tight and everything. So, yeah, I kind of did a crappy job. Like, the screws are not screwed down all the way, but you know what? It works.
It works, and it's the first one you've ever put together, and it looks pretty good. So, Peter, for you, I know you have RC experience, and you've probably put together some driving-style robots before, so what was this one like for you?
It's probably right now, I'd say 7 out of 10. It's got a little bit to go. There's some clearance issues with some parts, so I broke out the hammer and broke a few bearings because some of the pins didn't fit just right. But overall, it's a well-thought-out design. I really like the TPU you chose for this because when I get mad, I can throw it against the wall and it won't break. So I really, really like that.
Excellent. Yeah, that's an important aspect of these fighting robots, being able to throw them against the wall. So tomorrow, we will be taking these Erics and transforming them, transcending them, and adding stuff from the buildings around and making it into something new. So Emily, what is your plan to make this Eric into something new?
I'll be completely 100% honest with you. I have no idea, but it's going to be fun. I think there's a lot of options. At the very least, I think it'd be fun to put teeth or some sharp and pointy object on it. I have no idea, but we'll figure something fun out.
And when you were at one of our other buildings, did anything catch your eye at all in there?
There's a lot in those buildings, so there's a lot of different options. So I'll have to run through them all again, I guess. We'll find something.
All right, so we'll check in on that tomorrow and see how that's coming together. And Peter, same thing to you. You get to modify this robot and turn it into something a little more personalized to you. What are your plans for that?
Also, I have no idea. We're trying to make him survive because we're using him as these small robots to go with the big hot dog glizzy robot. So if they survive that, maybe we'll try to do something with them. But right now, I'm not quite sure how we'll do something entertaining just yet.
And was that your first robot fight earlier today?
That was my very first robot fight. I mean, maybe the one at open source counts, but I don't really know. Anyways, yeah, I'm just trying to gobble up them glizzies off the floor with this.
And you did. You were able to.
At the very end, yeah.
By the way, you want one? You want one?
Yes, I would love one of those. Let me get the split one.
You want this? I mean, go for it.
Well, that's it for us here in the pits. Thank you, Peter and Emily.
You can spit that out if you really don't want to eat. You can spit it out.
Don't eat that. We weren't eating them. Everyone else is eating.
It's salty. It's delicious. It was worth every bite. Thank you.
I feel your pain, Sam. I ate one of those earlier today too, and yeah, it's got a little afterburner taste to it.
Yeah, yours also had the benefit of some metal shavings in there. So, wow, really impressed with the lack of regard for your health and safety, both you and Sam. I'm really excited to see what Emily and Peter are going to come up with. The really neat thing about the Havoc Academy is when you go through it, and you learn how to build a bot, you're not just learning how to build to a kit, you're not just learning how to build to a specific type, you're actually learning all the building blocks and components of making your own robot, so you can take what you've learned and expand and extrapolate and build your own thing. So what they come up with will be completely different from what people at home will come up with when they go through the Havoc Academy. So I think having this Academy challenge is something that's going to really demonstrate like the breadth of what you can do with these building blocks.
Well, those are two makers up there that put their unique spin on things. I can't wait to see what they build. We've had already a very exciting evening here. We have gone through each of the groups so far. Let's take a look at the 3-pound standings as they currently sit. All right, in Group A, we see Dutch Oven, Monkfish, and Synthesis. All right, so the number column represents the number of fights that they had. Then you have their win and loss column, followed by the points that they earned in those matches and whether or not they scored a knockout. So there you have Dutch Oven scoring that knockout.
Now, the interesting thing here is that Synthesis is going to have a rematch against Monkfish. Now, famously, after Synthesis went on that absolute tear, destroying Booty Brigade, it then went on to face Monkfish, and very quickly, basically, its power went out, and through just kind of the happenstance, it lost that match. So I know Corey has been really wanting to have a rematch against Rachel and Monkfish.
Now, the anatomy of these groups is each of these bots are going to face each other once, and there's a chance that every single bot in the group ends their group at 1-1, and this is where the points come in. So, you get the 3 points for a knockout, you get 2 points for judge's decision, and those points are what could ultimately decide the fate of the outcome of a group if everyone ties out at 1-1. So that's something to definitely keep your eye on. Here's Group B. We see Mixtape, Droopy, and Fireball. Mixtape having that one win there with the knockout on Fireball. And
all right, let's take a look at Group C here. Hot Wings, Caldera, and Chainsaw Kitty. So only so far Hot Wings and Chainsaw Kitty have fought. Hot Wings taking that knockout level score, 3 points home, even though Chainsaw Kitty did not intend to tap out there, but that's how it works.
And lastly, we have Group D with Crashfest, Chubby Unicorn, and Project LiftOff. Of course, Robert Run in Crashfest was able to pull off that victory on Project LiftOff, earning 2 points because of a judge's decision.
So, yeah, there are still some bots left to fight, but we're starting to see these groups kind of take form. The bots that have scored a knockout are really in a good position going into their next match. But that doesn't mean that, if you have a judge's decision, you're out of the loop either. So, we've only had one match. There's only so much that you can kind of extrapolate from there, but it's going to be really interesting tomorrow as the group fights continue on to see who continues.
So like you just said, there are definitely some bots that we have not seen. One of them is incredibly interesting and someone to look out for. Let's learn a little bit about Monkfish.
Yes.
My name is Rachel de Guzman. I am an automotive engineer from Ann Arbor, Michigan. I work for Toyota. And I got my BS in mechanical engineering from MIT. And this is the Monkfish, is the first robot that I have led the design on.
You capitalize on NHRL's non-traditional locomotion weight bonus.
Yes.
And you have what's known as a shuffle driver. So obviously there are no wheels on Monkfish. We instead have on each side of the bot 3 walking feet.
This component, that's red in here, but in here it's this blue piece. What this is a cam. So as you can see, there's kind of different circles and they are not concentric. And what that does is I pin the foot at the top here, and then I'm able to basically move this circle around based off of the cam. If you rotate the cam, and then each of the feet takes a turn cycling through. And so you're able to get a small amount of movement forward as you're progressing. For us, it looks, that's why the robot, when you see it in fights, looks like it's going really, really fast. Because every time that foot is touching down, it's only moving a very small amount. So in order for this to work, most of the shuffler robots that you'll see, like Save the Frogs, there's quite a few other ones, are relatively slow, with the exception of maybe Jameson Go's Silent Spring or Silent X. But they tend to be slow. But this, we had to spec out very specific motors to get the right KV or the right RPM of them spinning. So we had that specifically spec'd out based off of how fast we wanted to translate the robot across the arena.
And so, like a cheetah, there's only ever one foot on the ground at a time, basically,
Correct.
right? Because as the cam rotates, it's lifting one, dropping another, and then prepping the third one for the next step.
Yes.
Now, what do you see as far as like traction goes? Like, you know, what ability do you have to like win the control and aggression game in a sport like combat robotics with a foot versus a rubber wheel?
The horizontal weapon, when it goes to spin, your robot also wants to continue to spin with it, so you are traction limited a lot of times. So we spent a lot of time working on getting a very specific polyurethane to work on the feet. That way we have enough grip on the ground so that when we start the weapon up, we don't just spin around in a circle. I'm almost never at 100% weapon power because otherwise I lose traction. So a lot of times I will start a fight and I will not be at 100% weapon power, but as the fight goes on, if I'm already moving, it's okay to turn the weapon up more. So you'll see that sometimes, or you'll be able to hear it more often than not if I turned it up all the way.
There you see in the corner, that's our countdown clock for Dutch Oven versus Monkfish. Monkfish is just one of those bots that it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Rachel has been in an absolute tear. This bot has made its way through 2023, winning competitions around the country. So could she do it here today? We'll have to see.
All right, and so if you're just joining us, this is Havoc All-Stars, where some of the best and most memorable bots from our history and from our present are going to battle for us and our entertainment for the next 3 days, and one will be crowned the inaugural Havoc All-Stars champion. Be sure to like and subscribe. This is, we have multiple competitions throughout the year. It's always a hoot. Coming up, we're gonna head into that match that we just kind of teed up.
That's in 5 minutes, Chris.
Oh, that's in 5 minutes. Oh, so prior to that fight, we have a different fight. Let's see who are behind these bots.
It's Eli Davis and Hot Wings.
Finally in Heat C, representing Team Other, it's Hot Wings. This one's got a pair of articulated wings armed with white hot diesel glow plugs looking to melt, burn, penetrate, cauterize, I don't know, destroy their opponent.
Meet Glenn Boxell and Caldera.
On the horizontal side, we have Caldera. Glenn and Caldera have been at nearly every single NHRL tournament, grinding and refining. And I just think that this might be their tournament where all that grinding pays off.
All right, we're back, and we're going to jump into Cage 2, and we're going to see that match between Caldera and Hot Wings. We'll see if Hot Wings was able to kind of reconfigure the bot and diagnose some of the issues that it was having, and it's going in against a fresh-faced Caldera.
All right, Hot Wings, are you ready? Ready. Caldera, are you ready? Ready. The match will begin in 5,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
You
Right
see
off
the
the
front
bat.
of Caldera spin up. It's just such a nasty horizontal spinner.
But Hot Wings looking way more mobile, way more in control than it did versus Chainsaw Kitty just, moments ago.
Ooh, it took a big shot across the front armor of Hot Wings. You see some of that plastic has been kind of ripped to the side.
It wants to hug. It wants to hug.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, there you see some
and there
smoke.
you see one of those glow plugs sinking into the back of Caldera.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hot Wings really able to get the control that is, really what we come to associate with Hot Wings.
Yeah, now we're really seeing this is the way Hot Wings is intended to work. It's currently high centered on that bot though. Oh!
Woo. All right, this is Caldera's opportunity to really capitalize on a vulnerable Hot Wings.
Yeah, Caldera's going to want to do anything that it can to disable those arms on the front of Hot Wings. Come out the side. The last thing Caldera wants to do is go head-to-head with those forks in the front, potentially get high-centered, and you know what happens when high-velocity horizontal spinners get knocked, a little askew. They have a tendency to fly all over the place. There we see a thermal cam. And you see those blistering white-hot spots on the sides of Hot Wings. That just kind of shows you, compared to everything else, that's a spicy meatball.
Now, it does look like one drive side is impacted on Hot Wings. Caldera is zipping around, trying to take advantage while, avoiding that really spicy hug.
There you see one of the glow plugs has been ripped completely out of Hot Wings. I'm curious if that right one is still operable. But Caldera's having some issues on one of its drive sides.
Yeah, and it looks like it is currently being pinned by a mini bot on Caldera, being driven by Glenn's son, Brian Boxall. All right, now he has to release. Minibot putting in a lot of work in this match. And now Hot Wings is returning the favor, giving the Minibot a little bit of a hug in itself.
30 seconds left.
We're down to 30 seconds here. Caldera limping around. Hot Wings being told it has to release the mini, because pinning a Minibot is still pinning. Whoa!
5, 4, 3.
Oh boy.
2, 1.
That's the match.
All right, so this will go to a judge's decision. There's Glenn there. Builder and driver of Caldera.
Caldera. You do it much better than I do. Both bots taking quite a bit of damage there. Some drive issues with a Hot Wing, some drive issues with Caldera. Of course, that one glow plug being sheared clean off. Although Caldera's weapon did seem to be working throughout the entire match, so that's something that the judges are going to consider. Let's take a look at a replay here.
There you see how this bot works, that glow plug sinking into the back of Caldera, and my guess is that is probably what ultimately disabled that left side drive on Caldera. Who knows where that glow plug ended up? Could have literally melted wires.
He got revenge, though, by shearing that off later on in the competition.
Yeah, Hot Wings loses one of its drumsticks. The glow plug goes flying, and then Hot Wings just decide to kind of go one-on-one with the mini-bot from Caldera.
Those forks doing an incredible job, though, deflecting the biggest blows that Caldera wanted to deliver.
Exciting match. We'll see what the judges think.
Speaking of exciting matches, look at that countdown. That's under a minute.
This is going to be exciting. You know, Dutch Oven, one of the hottest spots we've ever seen. Monkfish, very nimble shuffler with an incredibly devastating weapon. I can't wait to see this. Love the countdown clock.
Wow.
It's my favorite new addition. Now I know.
I just building.
30 seconds, I got to sit on the edge of my seat.
Oh, we've got a good... We're getting a visit here from Sparky in the meantime to really hype the crowd up. But we're seeing a new look here on Monkfish, and that is to, you know...
Yes, it has some heat deflective tape currently painted across the entire front of the bot.
I love it. I love it. The eyes on Dutch Oven appear to have returned, so hopefully you can see where he's going this time. Love the gold.
Yeah, this is, it's like very 70s retro Monkfish that we got going on.
It's like disco Monkfish.
Dutch Oven, are you ready? Welcome back. Monkfish, are you ready? Ready. Sweet. Right. Monkfish gives the thumbs up. They're ready. We're waiting for the ready on Dutch Oven in the pink corner.
Minibot also has to make its way over to the pink corner. It's looking a little drunk.
That'll happen.
That is the long route to the pink corner.
The scenic
Going on a
route.
scenic drive.
Yes, Cage 3 has beautiful countryside.
It got close, and then it said, you know what? No, I want to go for another spin. All right, I think that might be... No. Oh, no? Okay.
Wonder if Dutch Oven was going to pop out and give their Minibot a little assist. I think that they have to tuck themselves away into the corner as best they can before the match actually starts.
All right, the ref has declared this good enough, and we're ready to go. Rachel looks so calm.
Calm under pressure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Fight, robots, fight.
Gosh, that fire!
I literally feel it out here. It's insane.
It's like the...
Oh, wow! Monkfish! Getting in on this.
What is happening?
There are some chunks of something in the middle of the box. I think it is the Minibot from Dutch Oven.
In this fog of war, I can't tell what's...
Dutch Oven getting a little shovey with Monkfish, but Monkfish's weapon is still fully operational. The tape seems to be doing a good job protecting some of that core housing. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Oh, that's such intense heat.
Now, Rachel and Monkfish were undefeated in the regular season, but I don't know if she came across a bot with this level of flame before.
And it's tough when your bot is just so much plastic, so much printed plastic.
But the Minibot doing a fantastic job pinning Dutch Oven.
It is still working, or it's taking a little bit of a ride on its own weapon.
Wait, it looks like there's strings of plastic coming off of Monkfish. Like the way cotton candy comes off of the strand.
It's like poison cotton candy, but yes. And
Dutch Oven.
Dutch Oven might be succumbing to a little bit of its own poison. Flames erupting from both the front and backside of the bot. I don't think that that's actually supposed to happen.
That is some uncontrolled flame right there. And I mean, despite it being a flame bot, it doesn't want itself to be on fire. That's not the goal. There's just pieces of robot on fire in the corner. We've got 1 minute left. We have the countdown clock completely just hanging off the side of the box.
It speaks to Alex Grant. You know, like I said, we got a close look inside that bot. The thermal protection. Oh, no. There's probably a very expensive screen.
Did the fire and the heat melt the cords holding up that?
Yeah, I think it was actually like maybe glued up there or something.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
And Monkfish is still going somehow.
Oh, not the screen.
The screen is now an arena hazard, Rachel. Watch out.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So I'm hearing from Control, the actual brackets that they put these monitors up in are 3D printed. And the heat inside the box was so intense that they might have melted.
We need to aluminum proof our entire box now.
Wow.
Wow.
What just
carnage.
Chaotic energy coming out of Cage 3.
The box looks like it has been firebombed, and somehow Monkfish is still functional. There's wires everywhere.
There's parts of bots inside of this cage that didn't even begin in this cage.
This is otherworldly. This looks like it has been through war.
War is hell.
Oh my God! Look
my
at
goodness! Oh, that is goopy. I love it.
How did Monkfish? Oh, and here we see Sparky admiring the flame.
I think that's where an iPhone was.
Oh no! That's what an iPhone on fire looks like. Wow. All right, they're opening the doors. They're using the extinguisher.
There we go.
You can see the negative air pressure system just sucking all that right up.
So we'll go ahead and we're going to bring that iPhone back to the Mac store and see if we can use our warranty.
The geniuses of the Genius Bar have probably seen everything at this point, but have they seen that?
Yeah, they know what they're looking for. Let's take a look at this replay.
Gosh.
Great box rush from Monkfish, but Dutch Oven was just kind of sitting there, jaws agape, waiting to just deploy that incredibly hot fire. Some awesome exchanges in this match. Bot parts go flying everywhere. Things just started melting. It's definitely one of the most memorable fights I've seen tonight. I absolutely love both of these bots.
Wow. I am hoping that maybe we can have an interview with Rachel after this and see the damage that Monkfish sustained, because at this point you can still see the arches printed of its shufflers, and here they're gone. Melted off.
Oh my goodness!
Our
See the
signs melting off,
dropping off the side of the cage.
It's like when you spray a chemical when you're farming and then the birds just drop out of the air.
I've seen how you garden.
There's literally plastic.
Oh my
coming
goodness!
off
Can
of
we get a cam on Cage 3 right now? It's like literally the ceiling is melting out.
We have never seen this
I've never
before.
seen anything like this. This is wild. I think this is part of the new light protection housings that they've put in place so that we don't have more lights dropping from the sky to interfere with the match. Look at the goop.
I had a suspicion that this was going to be the case, and it has just been confirmed. Cage 3 is out of commission for the rest of the night.
Dutch Oven is the first bot in NHRL that has permanently broken a cage for the entire night.
Yeah, when Depth Charge breached the Lexan, we replaced that.
You swap out the Lexan.
Yeah.
The entirety of the guts of Cage 3 have melted.
There is almost nothing that appears salvageable in this cage.
They're just going to have to back a forklift in here and just throw out cage 3.
Listen, Big Ripto is known as the arena killer, but I think Dutch Oven is going to assume that new title because this is destruction in ways I couldn't have even predicted.
There's screens and wires and melted plastic everywhere. This is going to take days to clean.
I see Remy just taking photos of the box.
It's for the insurance adjuster.
Team
oh,
seems
wow,
reasonable.
Look, do you see where an iPhone, there was once an iPhone there.
I hope it was removed and didn't just turn to ash. There's just remnants of monkfish everywhere. Plastic, goo.
I love
what do
it.
you do here? I feel bad for Eamon and the rest of the crew because they're gonna have a late night trying to figure out what the heck you do with this. We had planned for swapping out floors, but like everything? I don't know.
It just cage 3 looks like an Airbnb that was rented by partygoers.
Oh, jeez. All right, we have a judge's decision for the previous fight. Let's take a look at that.
So this is the Caldera and Hot Wings match. And there you have it. That goes to Caldera.
That goes to Caldera. Close, but still in their favor. Wow. Are you ready for this?
And here we go. We have a judge's decision coming in for the most recent fight. And there it is, across the board. Dutch Oven not only winning the match against Monkfish, also winning the match against cage 3.
Wow. I don't even know what to say. They finally opened the doors. They're removing what's left of this goo fish, maybe that new name, I don't know.
So we're already queued up here in cage 2. Let's figure out who are the folks behind these bots.
Meet Tim Hebert and Chubby Unicorn.
As unassuming as a robot named Chubby Unicorn can possibly be, Tim Hebert's vertical spinner is ranked number 2 in all of the 3-pound class. It's got a dual disc system and it's so stable and reliable.
Meet Jim Casmer and Project LiftOff.
The only melty brain spinner in all of Havoc All-Stars is Project LiftOff. This one spins around in a circle ever so rapidly using an onboard computer to translate around the arena, whacking into their opponents.
Wow. Well, we can't be in cage 3 anymore, so let's go to cage 2.
Here we see the double shot. Project LiftOff and Jim Casmer. You guess which one is which.
5, 4.
And here's our debut of Chubby Unicorn.
2, 1.
Coming out of the blue corner.
Robots fight.
Oh! Those are the hits that we're used to seeing from Project LiftOff. Chubby Unicorn hoping that its wedge will fare better than Crashfest fork earlier today. Wow. Chubby Unicorn doing a great job squaring up, sending it flying.
Oh, ping-ponging.
Oh. I'm not seeing Project LiftOff move. It can get an unstick, but I'm not sure that's the problem. All right, we're seeing a little bit of movement there. I can hear it.
There we go.
This new red color scheme kind of makes it look like a flying pizza.
Just like one gigantic pepperoni.
Yeah. And Chubby Unicorn is hungry. Because it's chubby.
But it's got to catch its food first.
So Project LiftOff already used its one on stick. Will Chubby Unicorn free it or let it die on the side?
6, 5, 4.
Oh!
Never count out the melty brain. We've still got a minute and a half left in this match. Chubby Unicorn hoping to finish the job. Project LiftOff hoping for a comeback here.
But Chubby Unicorn's weapon is no longer spinning. I'm not sure if that's actually the strategy to let the wedge do the work and save your weapon.
Yeah,
but
that wedge is doing a great job.
It's a dangerous thing to let Project LiftOff get up to full speed. 1 minute left in the match.
Oh, we've got a pin.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back up.
There's your 10-second pin.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing that weapon on Chubby Unicorn. I feel like they'd want to demonstrate to the judges that it's still operable.
There is a very good chance at the end of this match we'll see Chubby Unicorn spin up its weapon to let the judges know, hey, my weapon works. But there's also a chance that that weapon has been knocked offline from one of maybe those really huge exchanges between the two bots.
And if that weapon is down, that's a huge piece of damage that Project LiftOff is able to claim. But just superior control from Chubby Unicorn.
4, 3, 2, 1, and
That's the match, and we did not see that weapon come back up to speed.
And you hear Project LiftOff. Speaking droid. Project LiftOff, one of the only bots here that actually knows the binary language of moisture evaporators.
I'd love to learn.
Let's take a look at these replays.
Wow.
So this there was like one of those shots. I'm curious if that was one of the big exchanges that actually attributed to Chubby Unicorn's weapon going down, but then it was just all plow.
Yeah, I mean, that plow was so effective. It's really hard to tell where exactly that weapon went down because it was still really getting some good hits. But maybe we'll see here in the replay what the crucial moment was. Well, time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see what the judges think about that one. It's funny, I'm watching over here in Cage 3, we have about half a dozen NHRL staff kind of swarming around the cage, trying to see if this is something that can actually be salvaged for the night. It sure would be great. Yeah, so this is the cage that we should have a match queued up in and sending off to you folks out there, but it needs a little TLC. So instead of Cage 3 and another 3-pound match coming at you, they got to reset Cage 2 as quick as possible.
Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa! That's not gonna buff out. Wow.
It's like there's half a dozen people in a tiny little house.
But they've got a plan. I mean, they're in there. They're trying to salvage what they can. Even checking the iPhone to see if that came out unscathed.
Well, he's checking his Insta.
Yeah.
His Insta is fire. You might want to check that out.
All right, I think he gave those the okay.
I'm curious to see if they're going to fire matches in Cage 3. I think that would... that only speaks to the incredible talent of our crew here at NHRL.
That mystery goo no longer appears to be hanging from the ceiling. Wow. Good job, team.
I'm seeing even a little lens distortion on the Lexan. It's like part of the Lexan has taken on an interesting new shape from just that intense heat that came out of Dutch oven.
You know, this is why there are some other competitions out there who don't let your flame bots that close to the Lexan. But you know what? Here we say, yeah, we can replace it if it's really bad, because we want to, and we really want to foster the flames as big as they can get.
Yeah, make it hot, make it weird, make it dangerous.
The NHRL slogan. It really goes to show the importance of having spares. Not just for robots, but for every conceivable arena component.
Yeah, and you know, we actually have plenty of cages to go around. I think we have triples of each. Triples is best, triples is safe.
Triples makes it safe. While this is being cleaned, the match that was gonna happen in Cage 3 will now happen in Cage 2, so let's meet the builders. Who are we gonna see?
Meet Brian Boxel and Fireball.
Brian Boxel has always had his eye on the prize, and that prize has almost always been Calvin Iba. He gets his shot against Mixtape with Fireball, his 3-pound vertical spinner with a gyro-canceling flywheel.
Here's Tommy Wong and Droopy.
That's right, it's the booty haver himself, the most decorated donk in all of fighting robots, Tommy Wong's Droopy. This all-weapon torque reaction walker has multiple golden dumpsters and golden Bretts under his belt, and he's looking to add the Havoc All-Stars champion to that mix.
Man. Doors are closing on Cage 2, and it just really highlights the uphill battle that Brian has in his specific group, both with Mixtape and now Droopy, one of the only champions in the 3-pound bracket. Wow.
It's a tough lineup.
It's going to be a tough lineup for him.
Tough
Fireball's
lineups.
a tough bot.
Tough lineups across the board here. It's All-Stars.
There's no easy path to victory.
There's no buts about it.
That was a good crack you made.
Fireball situated there in the blue corner.
Droopy has a bow. Something's happening. Nothing's happening. We're just getting ready for a match.
Droopy was getting... Okay. It sounds like we have the judge's decision for the previous fight, and there you have it. Across the board, Chubby Unicorn taking out Project LiftOff.
Tough night for Project LiftOff. First against Crashfest, and now Chubby Unicorn. Really tough night for them, going 0-2. For a bot that is so ahead of its time, ahead of its field, it just goes to show the level of competition here today.
Yeah, arguably the best melty brain on Earth.
Pioneers at this point of melty brain technology.
Fireball, are you ready?
So this will be our final 3-pound match of Group Stage 2.
4,
Here with Droopy, Fireball.
1.
Fight, robots, fight.
Whoa!
Incredibly
that box rush.
fast box rush from Brian Boxel and Fireball. Droopy is still drooping.
It's time to change Brian's name from Brian Boxel to Brian Box Rush, because that is what he's starting to be known for. But he's back in his head. This is what got him in trouble the last time. Thankfully, this time Droopy is a little bit slower to be able to capitalize on situations like that, but it's still so powerful.
Droopy is still able to deliver huge hits despite the fact that there's a huge crack down the center of it.
The power that comes from the full weight Droopy, which is able to capitalize on weight bonuses from its non-conventional movement, it just makes it such a contender, so difficult to counter. Its whole body is its weapon.
It's one of the bots that doesn't matter who you are, you're going to struggle to formulate a strategy going in because virtually every side of Droopy is dangerous, especially the backside.
And yet, Droopy is not spinning.
It's gonna get a little nudge from Brett to see if it can reawaken.
Droopy officially being asked to show motion. Droopy almost never been killed before in this competition. Fireball bringing it to them. Wow. Tommy with a little shrug. He's
not sure what happened.
Droopy stopping spinning.
It's a myriad of different electronics issues that could happen on the inside of a bot, but if anybody's gonna bounce back and figure something out, it's Tommy.
Yeah.
What an incredible engineering mind, and one of my favorite builders.
And Fireball really saving itself here. If it had lost, it would have gone 0-2, essentially kicking it out of its own group. So it stays alive here. And right out of the bat, I mean,
yeah, if
Fireball.
you blink, you miss it.
And for a little bit there, it looked like Droopy had actually wedged itself into the side rails from the force of that box rush.
At that point, Fireball was struggling to find an avenue of approach against Droopy, but it was just one of those exchanges where Droopy drooped for its last droop.
And Droopy has one of the most reliable weapons in this competition. If it's spinning, it's dangerous. If it's spinning, it's mobile. But once it stops spinning, it can't move anymore. There's no ability for it to get control points. There's no ability for it to outdrive its opponent because it can no longer move.
Well, we'll see Tommy again. We'll see Droopy again.
Oh, yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind that, Tommy's going to get right up there and solve the issue.
I think that this means we're going to see Droopy and Mixtape.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Ooh,
talk about turning the other cheek.
Yeah. Very nice.
Let's talk about the 12-pound group.
Please.
All right. In Group A, we have Blackjack, Disco, and Tough Love. Blackjack with one fight and one win with the knockout. We have yet to see Disco.
Disco from the Durflers.
Going on to Group B, HoneyShock, Maximizer, and Sombra 12. We have not yet seen Jake Hoffman and Maximizer, but that was an incredible match for HoneyShock, defeating Sombra 12, earning that win and going 1-0 with 2 points.
Yeah, and I know Maximizer is facing Sombra later on this evening. They were eyeing each other up in the test box, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. Here in Group C, we have Buzz-Kill with a knockout, Cthulhu yet to fight, and Darkstar, like we saw just a little bit earlier, completely de-weaponed by the hands of Buzz-Kill. And of course, Group D, one of the most stacked groups out there. Bobby with the KO against Minor Threat, and Saiko waiting in the wings.
Jameson Go and Saiko, I'm sure we'll see. That's another tough group. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be any of those robots, to be honest.
Oh, speaking of Jake Hoffman and Maximizer, we're about to see them go head-to-head with the Brazilians in Sombra 12 on over to Cage 4.
I wonder if Sombra was able to repair their robot from just a great level of destruction that we saw earlier today. Tomas is ready.
There's Jake, Maximizer.
Now, Jake mentioned that he had not really even touched the robot since the November finals, but he is hungry to win here.
Robots fight.
Wow. Already Sombra up on the side rail.
Perfect shot from Maximizer.
Sending that mini-bot absolutely flying.
We'll see if Sombra 12 is going to call in its first on stick or if Maximizer is just going to get on top of it.
I think he's trying.
Oh! With the softball lob, taking Sombra 12 up and over the Housebot.
He's just not even letting the Housebot get in there. Wow!
Two sides to that coin.
Wow. I mean, Sombra is not a slouch. This robot has extreme power in that weapon. All right, so now here we see something very interesting. Maximizer was on its head. Oh! We're not seeing any movement.
I think that we just got a tap from the corner of Maximizer.
We've got a tap, and we have a very animated Jake and a very happy Tomas, because this means that they live another day in this competition, saving themselves from going 0-2.
So Sombra 12 will move to 1-1. And the first outing from Maximizer and Jake. He'll drop to 0-1. He's got another shot.
You know, a lot of times we've seen this time and time again. You have the match, you're winning until you're not. These, especially with bots at this level, these matches can change on a dime, and that's exactly what we saw here.
Let's take a look at this replay. We'll jump right in. You see first Maximizer delivers that signature hit, bringing the kind of that tail thwack Thagomizer style horizontal around, knocking and lobbing Sombra 12 up and over the Housebot.
And not letting Sombra 12 really get up to speed right away, which I think was in Jake's interest there. But later on in the competition, when it was able to spin up, I think that might have been what changed the tide.
And then Sombra 12 in that short lip front wedge, able to do what they do best against a horizontal spinner, popping Maximizer up into the air several times.
Oh.
I see a couple of, and that's a kiss cam.
Chefs in love.
Here we see two of our in-house hot dog chefs who prepared both Sam and I delicious meals.
Aww.
Aww.
You know, I believe they kiss at Open Sauce too, so they're just displaying their love, and you love to see it. Oh, now Kevin getting in on some action. Kevin self-conscious of his hot dog breath.
It was a total honor and a blast to go out to Open Sauce and call fights there and see some of these folks fighting out there in San Francisco. It was one of the more memorable cons I've ever been to. Just so many incredible builders, makers, doers, and with just also go-karts. And there was also a shrimp that made fried rice.
Yeah, that really made an impression.
That changed my life.
Let's meet some new builders, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Here's Jameson Go and Saiko.
Of all of Jameson Go's #1 ranked robots, Saiko is his 12-pound one. And while it seems to go under the radar somehow, it's far from a sleeper. His vertically spinning drumette has led him to 10 NHRL knockouts. And with Jameson's unyielding drive to succeed, and the fact that he came up short of winning any Golden Bretts in November, you know he's gonna be hungry for a championship.
Here's Jonathan Clark and Bobby.
Don't let the innocent face and cute little hat of Bobby fool you. He's here to do work. Horizontal spinning work. Featuring a unique big wheel design with foamy tires made to get chewed up rather than knocked off. But he's not all soft and cuddly. Between those squishy wheels is a wicked spinning weapon.
All right, on over to cage one.
This is a matchup for the time. I mean, this is incredible what we're about to witness.
Saiko over there in the blue corner. We're going to see Bobby shuffling its way over to the pink corner. There's Jameson Go, readying his JMO stance. And there's Jonathan with his home-printed TPU Bobby hat. Oh, it's got an eye patch now.
And a little bow.
It's ready to throw down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
And we're off. Cage one.
Saiko being slow and calculating here. Already shearing off some foam from Bobby's wheels.
It's got plenty of foam to go around.
Oh, yeah. It has some to spare. Now, I feel like this matchup is in Saiko's favor, but it's so hard to kill Bobby.
Now, if Bobby does manage to win this against Jameson Go and Saiko, Bobby will be moving on into the next stages, the actual knockout portion of the tournament. But obviously standing in his way is one of the greatest builders of all time, Jameson Go and Saiko.
Now, famously, the shorter that Bobby gets throughout the match goes on, the worse position he's in, because it means the closer his weapon is to the ground, the more damage on his wheels. And that is exactly, looks like part of the strategy that Saiko has here.
It's the Black Knight strategy for Monty Python. You just lop both of his legs off. He's still fighting.
Jameson's still hungry after the November championships. He wants to win this. He wants to show that Saiko is ranked #1 for a reason. Does not appear to have taken any damage so far, even though Bobby has a devastating weapon. We saw what it did to Minor Threat 5 just a little bit earlier. 90 seconds left in this match. It still looks to be all Saiko.
Although I'm not seeing the weapon on Saiko spinning anymore. Is it actually, has it stopped? It looks like it.
It does appear that way. Now,
we
is it
don't
intentional,
know.
or is that a factor of Bobby's still spinning very kinetic weapon?
You see the googly eye?
Oh, Saiko has Bobby pinned on the side rail, but he can break free.
It's not an easy bot to pin with, basically gigantic pool noodle wheels. Coming up on just 30 seconds left in this match. Again, we still have not seen any movement out of the weapon on Saiko. We'll see if in the last few seconds of this match, if JMO does spin the weapon up just to show that it works, or if it actually did get knocked out during an exchange with Bobby.
I do feel like he would have fired it up by now, but you never know.
10, 9, 8, 7,
But now is the weapon down on Bobby?
4, 3,
It's hard to tell. Is he just being pinned?
My goodness. It's hard to yeah, there's foam all over the place.
And that's the match.
Let's see, does Bobby spin up the weapon?
Jonathan was on the edge of his seat that entire time.
I couldn't tell from the camera angle if Bobby was able to spin up its weapon at all at the end of that match, or if JMO was, for that matter.
Now we have a teammate here, Pete Covert, who is helping out Jonathan.
Chad Pete.
Chad Pete, of course. From where?
Chad, Colorado.
Yes. So this one is going to go to the judges. Let's take a look at the replay here.
There you see Bobby doing one of its divots that it loves to leave on the cage floors.
Now, really from the beginning of this match and onward, this was Saiko in control, Saiko being able to deliver the damage, up until it appears Saiko's weapon went down.
I'm curious if that was actually the moment. It could have been anything. It could have been a piece of foam getting sucked up in there. It could have been a direct hit from the side of Bobby's horizontal spinner.
Now, when the judges go to score this, it appears that also Bobby's weapon went down at the very end of the match.
Yeah.
So that also has to become a factor when you look at how to divvy up the damage scores.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be a difficult one for the judges, and I don't envy them.
Nope. But I do envy Jonathan Clark because I want that Bobby hat.
All right, I see that we do have some movement over in cage 4. And let's meet some of those builders, shall we?
Let's do it.
Meet Anthony D'Ambrosio and Darkstar.
Tony D'Ambrosio has just about more connections in the fighting robot scene than anyone. He's leveraged those connections and scaled up every lesson he's learned in his 3-pound beater bar robot, Blackbird, to optimize Darkstar, his latest 12-pound beater bar bot with a multitude of configurations for each potential opponent.
Meet Corey Coakley and Cthulhu.
Cthulhu. This Lovecraftian horror of a horizontal is brought to you by Corey Coakley of the Coakley Fighting Robot Dynasty. For a job, Corey cuts metal with a wire EDM, but for fun, he cuts metal with Cthulhu.
All right, jumping into cage 4. There's Tony D'Ambrosio.
Wow, he's in the zone. It's do or die for him right now. If he goes 0-2, that's the end.
Here we see the Coakley Bros.
5.
Did you know that there are 3 of them?
3, 2.
Oh my goodness, they're multiplying?
Fight. Robots fight.
Coakley is with their bot Cthulhu, or in some circles known as Cthulhu.
That is one of the loudest weapons.
Not seeing some movement out of Darkstar.
No.
What's going on, Tony?
Oh, Tony. Cthulhu not looking phased. I hear a count out. I have to imagine that's show motion for Darkstar. He's put his controller transmitter down. This is not the night Tony envisioned for himself.
Knockout.
You got to feel for him.
That means that Darkstar is exiting All-Stars. I feel so bad. Anthony, you see the frustration on his face.
Yeah. Anthony is such an important member of this community. He is the man behind so much of the merch that these teams have, the shirts that they wear, their designs, their visual look and feel. He helps out so many people. And, you know, it's heartbreaking to see someone go out 0-2 like this. I'm not sure if he was able to, you know, fully repair his robot after that earlier match. But it's all love between him and the Coakleys. Like, that's still one of the great things about this sport. You get demolished, and you love your opponent.
Let's take a look at this replay.
And he was ready. He was so in the zone.
You could cut the tension with a knife, and he might actually cut you with a knife.
He's a very nice guy, but I would not want to run into him in a dark alley. But, I mean, it was just kind of dead on arrival here for Darkstar.
And then, of course, you have Cthulhu fresh out of the box.
Yeah, this was their first fight of the night. They were spring chickens here.
Oh, and that sums it up right there. Oh,
yeah.
That's painful.
It's sad, you know, when all these people do so much for the community, spend so much time on their robots. You never want to see anyone end their night 0-2, but it's just the nature of how, you know, this tournament is structured, the nature of robot fighting. There's always going to be someone who loses. But, you know, great job to Cthulhu, and they're looking pretty good going into their next match. They didn't really take a lot of damage. They didn't really have to sacrifice much of their bot during that match. So I'd feel pretty good going into the next match if I were them.
All right, we have a judge's decision from the previous fight. Let's take a look at the numbers. Oh, wow. It was a split decision between Bobby and Saiko. Judge 2 and Judge 3.
Wow.
Giving Saiko the match. Jameson Go takes his first match. Bobby goes to 1-1.
Bobby goes to 1-1, still in it, still, you know, able to fight tomorrow and hope to secure a spot in the next round, but so close. You see Judge 1 and Judge 2 just off by 1 point. Judge 3 saw a lot more in favor of Saiko, but wow. That's what Jameson wants to see.
Oh, well, the fact also that, you know, Bobby loses by a split judge decision, that could also influence how the points are calculated that will decide on the two people that will emerge out of that particular group and go on to the tournament that begins tomorrow.
Yeah, if we find ourselves in the three-way tie, there's a laundry list of ways to determine who gets to move on. But yeah, time will tell tomorrow. See who wins, the third match. And wow,
unbelievable.
Jameson is ready. He's so hungry. He wants to be the winner. He wants to bring Saiko home as the inaugural All-Stars winner here in the 12-pound bracket.
All right, there's another update coming in as well. All right, we had one more 12-pound match that's actually going to get bumped a little bit further into our evening. So we're going to take a look at the 30-pound standings. Beginning with Group A, we have Squire, Huge, and Big Ripto. We have not yet seen Huge fight. We've seen Squire go on for that knockout against Big Ripto. We'll move into Group B, where we had Disinformation, Vorion, and Floor Letter Word. Now, Disinformation was able to take that match by judge's decision. We have not yet seen Brandon Bennett-Young and Vorion. And we'll take a look at Group C, where we had Knockout, Red Storm, and Little Rip. Again, we have not yet seen Red Storm and Kevin Milcheski, our driver of the year.
Yes.
But we did see Knockout and Little Rip. Knockout going to judge's decision, I believe, against Little Rip.
Yeah, that was a real knockout of a match, to be honest. And then in Group D, we have Knockoff White earning their KO in their first match against Hotshot, landing, I think, somewhere between 20 and 30 blows. And then it's going to be Yahoo, who still has yet to fight tonight. Of course, built by Chad New, but piloted here today by teammate Pete Covert.
Pete Chad Covert. Covert Chad.
He's covertly Chad.
All right, so we're going to have that other 12-pound match later in the evening, and we are, I think we're going to jump back into some 30-pound action, and I see some movement happening over here in Cage 1. So we have Floor Letter Word and Vorion.
Brandon Bennett-Young has been waiting all day for this match. I know that he is, I was talking with him in the pits earlier, and he was basically talking about how Vorion is his long-term plan. He really sees a lot of hope in this robot. He thinks that this is a really promising design, and he's here to iterate and build and improve, and this is really just its first year. It has so much more to go, and we're going to see how it fares here against Floor Letter Word from Alex Curtis.
All right, it looks like the cage is locked up. The bots are making their way to their corners.
Alex's wife is here for the first time, cheering on her man, very excited. She was astounded at the facility we have, and we get that a lot from people who are here for the first time.
A lot riding on the line here for Floor Letter Word. If they lose this match, they'll be knocked out of All-Stars.
And of course, because this is Vorion's first match, a little bit less on the line, but you still want to secure that win and hopefully a knockout if it's in your control at all. Now, you probably have noticed that a lot of these robots have mini bots. I would venture a guess to say that almost every single one that we've seen, with an exception, of course, have had mini bots, and that is because it gives you a weight bonus. But Vorion is out here just on its own, trying to get the job done.
Oh, wow.
Within its 30 pounds.
It sounds like I just got word. This is filtered in, I think, from the cage side ref. The weapon on Floor Letter Word is not working. But because they've already tested the weapon as it went into the box, they have to fight.
Wow.
So Floor Letter Word, in a do-or-die situation, has to go on against Vorion, one of the most dangerous vertical spinners in the 30-pound weight class. but without its horizontal weapon.
Oh, and some big hits already from Vorion. It's not out of the question that Floor Letter Word could really muscle Vorion around, try and use its butt to control and wedge it and push it around, but we're going to have to see a little bit more aggressive driving if that were to happen. And I don't know if Floor Letter Word has a lot of that pushing power needed to get it done. Vorion already pushing it against the side rail. Floor Letter Word looking worse for wear. Not seeing a lot of movement.
Floor Letter Word gonna get a nudge from the Housebot, see if it can kind of unstick it there from the side rail so that this match can resume.
Not seeing a lot of life left in this robot. The Housebot Flow desperately trying to force some life into it. I'm not sure it's going to happen
It's
here.
doing full-on CPR right now.
Housebot CPR.
Live, Floor, live!
All right, I'm hearing a count out here.
It sounds like the countdown. That will mean, unless a miracle happens, Floor Letter Word is out. Vorion goes to 1-0 by knockout.
And it just started to move a little bit, but too little, too late. Vorion taking that win home. Sadly, Alex Curtis dropping to 0-2.
We have not seen the last of Floor Letter Word. I'm sure that is a bot that will be back in 2014.
You can go back in time.
Wait a minute. It's not 2014 coming up. How old am I again?
I believe we're into the 2060s.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So Vorion will likely face Disinformation in its next match. I think that would be tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Make sure to like and subscribe and tune in. We have awesome content coming to you both tomorrow night and Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what is going on over here in Cage 4 because we are seeing one of the 30-pound robots for the first time tonight, and that is Red Storm, driven and built by Kevin Milcheski.
The 2023 Driver of the Year versus Knockout.
You see the crew of Durflers there controlling Knockout.
I think they're called Durfly.
The Durfly.
As the Durflies.
Shout out to Grandma Durfler, who we know is watching.
And called me out for calling them Dorflers for so long. I'm very sorry, Grandma. Red Storm, a very fast, agile grapple bot that we also saw in the World Championships, has incredible strength, flipping over a 300-plus pound Housebot.
And obviously, Knockout is no work for this robot to flip over, as we can see already. Still able to get that weapon up to speed, so it's very dangerous regardless of being on its head. But Red Storm doesn't seem super phased because he knows he has his time. He can kind of pick his angles here and try and get it up on the side rail.
If Knockout is able to kind of resurrect this match and take out Red Storm, they will move on to the knockout stage tomorrow.
That was so cool, seeing Red Storm just fly off of that fork like a ski lift.
It's very hard to catch up with Red Storm and stay properly squared up against it. But Knockout is doing an incredible job of bouncing back in this match with 1 minute and 50 seconds left on the clock.
Those forks able to sometimes get under Knockout, sometimes not. Kevin really is reliant on those forks to be able to get under its opponent reliably so it can do its grabby motion. But that weapon on Knockout is just so big. And here we go, we've got a pin. But is he going to be happy with a pin, or does he want to try and flip? There we go.
There we go. The hoist. The Red Storm hoist. I love it.
I find this style of robot so exciting.
Yeah, it's such an effective design when piloted by such a talented driver like Kevin. And I'm curious, is Knockout actually just kind of stuck against that side rail? Or is the bot, oh boy.
Oh,
no.
Kevin, not again!
Kevin,
Kevin,
no! Kevin, no!
Stop!
Kevin, stop it!
Stop!
Stop it! No. Kevin!
Kevin!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Kevin has just, oh my, this is, wow!
You madman!
Unbelievable! Kevin, what have you done?
Knockout.
He goes, oh, you want me to flip it back over?
Kevin just dropped a house on the witch. Kevin has just dropped a 330-pound house pot on Knockout as a means to knock it out.
Kevin! Oh my God.
All right.
Well, this is unprecedented.
It takes 3 people to lift that thing.
Last competition, Kevin was able to flip over the house bot. The top came off, its wires were undone, but it just flipped over the house bot. This time, Kevin flipped over the house bot on its opponent, on Knockout. It's like the Wicked Witch.
Unbelievable. Oh, so this is interesting. Now, we have a little rule here at NHRL. If you can actually grab that switch on the back of a housebot and turn it off, I think you win like $1,000 or something. But Red Storm and Kevin just decided, I'm going to forego trying to flip the switch and instead just flip the entire housebot over. So it didn't necessarily earn the disable prize because you have to use the switch now.
No, he did not get the prize, but he gets the glory. Wow, Fluffy is back on her feet. Her undercarriage no longer exposed.
Oh, I do declare. Wow.
Kevin, we're not going to allow you back here.
This event is 3 days, Kevin. You just made me blow my voice out. Wild.
Knockout looks like it survived. It's not squished into a complete pancake.
It's a panini now.
We do have a competitor, a robot named Panini.
A lot of food.
All right,
bots. I'll take it.
Let's take a look at this replay because I know we are dying to.
Yeah, let's drink this in. So, there was a couple early great exchanges, on the end of Knockout, but then Kevin just immediately started asserting some of that great control. We saw a great bounce back again from Knockout before Kevin just started landing these grapples, delivering its opponent into the side rails. And just when we thought our housebot was going to come to the rescue, Kevin and Red Storm turned the housebot into a gigantic weapon to bludgeon Knockout to death.
Now,
look! Oh my God!
Wow!
Unbelievable.
Wild. So we are still operating under the 2023 rule set because we're still in 2023. And Gil, someone correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that this is perhaps no longer allowed under the new rule set.
Yes, that's correct.
So this is one of the last chances Kevin is going to have to legally be able to do this.
I think that as part of the 2024 rule set, I might be wrong.
Yes, I might be wrong.
This counts as arena fouling because the Housebot is part of the arena. But in 2023, we've encouraged people to interact with the Housebots. And now, Kevin, thanks to you, we had to change the rules. Let's go up to Sam in the pits. Hey, bud.
Hey, how's it going? I am up here in the pits, and it's heating up with the chefs over here with the Soggy Mustang Raw Dog team. And Michael, what exactly are you doing here?
We're just loading our weapon up for the next round. We're against a pretty tough opponent, so we wanted to be good and ready. We're just trying to like arm our main weapon. Kevin?
Yeah, we got some fresh dogs here, brand new, straight out of the box. These are some very good. I got my own. That's okay. Thanks. Yeah, we got some good dogs here. What do you have to say?
It's really salty. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there any sort of secret to these hot dogs? What gives you the smoky appeal of this robot?
The hot dogs are, I think, 6 hours out of the fridge at this point.
It's an actual biohazard. If the robot was biological, it would be feeling very sick if we had it.
I genuinely can't believe you let us do this.
I ate one of these hot dogs. It was really salty, but it felt worth it at the time. So your next opponent.
We're all getting sick. If you get sick, we're all getting sick.
That's fine with me. I'm in for the solidarity. You guys are fighting a flipper next. What is your plan for self-righting?
Well, this takes the brunt of the flip, so it hits this and it just spins the dogs for us, and they're gonna cook better.
Yeah.
So
When you're grilling with the boys,
Just convection gets it and it takes it off.
you need the flips.
You need the flip. You
flipping
need the flip.
action.
You want the flip.
If you cook only one side of the hot dog, you get a half-cooked hot dog. It's
Right,
simple
right.
math.
Yeah, you really do want that flip. We didn't activate our rotisserie last round. It's a faux pas on our part, but you know, with the extra flipper from the flipper robot, I think the convection from the air current moving through the robot cylinder will do so good.
Kinetic energy from the flipper.
Right.
With our.
How many hours did you sleep last night, Michael?
4.
4, yeah, me too.
Well, amazing. I really appreciate the insight. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to y'all fighting, and I hope that you do well. Good luck.
So much. Thank you so much.
They're naturals here. They're naturals. I love to see it. But we have a match in Cage 1 that we have to get to.
Oh, yeah. And it's actually a debut of a bot we have not yet seen today. Very exciting. It's very, very big.
It's giant.
It's massive.
It's like gargantuan, almost.
It's large.
It's huge.
All right. So yeah, Cage 1, we currently have loading in Big Ripto versus Huge. Let's check it out. There we see them loading in. Huge, the big-wheeled bot in the distance there, hard to miss.
Now, we were talking to Jonathan in the pits a little bit earlier today, and he was saying, hey, listen, this is the same bot I've been running for a number of years now. It's been working for me in the past. Worked out, you know, some of the radio issues. I've worked on some of the things. However, it's still practically the same bot it has been since the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think you said it was literally the bot from, was it 2 years ago?
Yeah, maybe longer. But it's tried and it's true and it's destructive. And why change a good thing?
Yeah.
And Big Ripto is already 0-1 tonight, so they are fighting for their lives here in this match. Kyle Singer really wants to, you know, keep this fight alive, keep it going, not head out on the first night.
But that's a pretty big opponent to cut through, to stay alive. You know, Huge is designed to fight these more compact bots with high energy weapons, especially like a vertical. It's not very easy for them to attack those large wheels, while Huge is able to kind of rain blows down from above.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fight, robots, fight.
All right, here we go. Huge sauntering over. Wow. That weapon just is so powerful and does not skip a beat. We
the hum of Huge at full speed, but it looks like Big Ripto's weapon is not spinning, and I see the belt, Lindsay.
I see a belt.
Oh, no.
I shouldn't see a belt. It's on its head, and without the movement of that weapon, I don't think it can self-right.
Yeah, normally a bot like Big Ripto would need that gyro power to help self-right it, and without that, that's your knockout.
Wow.
Huge, within 45 seconds, taking its first match here at All-Stars.
And that's exactly why Jonathan does not feel compelled to redesign this robot, to change really anything, because 45 seconds, it has killed a formidable opponent that is Big Ripto, a veteran in the sport.
And that means that Big Ripto is out. And Jonathan will go on, I believe, to fight Squire. That should be an interesting matchup.
There's that belt.
That's like my belt after Thanksgiving. More corn pudding, please.
I really like the look of Big Ripto. I think it's such a visually striking bot. I wish that we had been able to see more of it, but let's check out this replay and watch that again. Right out of the gate, just huge, able to deliver gigantic blows. And like I said, nothing stops that weapon. It hits and it keeps on going. And once that belt was gone, the weapon was dead, flipped on its head, and it was game over. So that says goodbye to Big Ripto and Kyle Singer. He has the option, if he wants, to stick around the next 2 days, maybe get a grudge match in, but that's the end of his tournament run.
Oh, okay. So I actually just got an update from the back. They love to tell me when I'm wrong.
Oh.
In the 2024 rule set, it is not illegal to flip the house bots. In fact, it is encouraged.
Oh.
Oh, they're going to be adding shock absorbers to the inside of the house bots to make them more resilient. Now, these things were built so heavy, well, we kind of figured that no one would be able to toss them around like a rag doll. So rather than changing the rule and saying, hey, you can't do that anymore, we're gonna modify them so that you can toss them around like a rag doll.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I think deliberate arena fouling is still a no-no.
Yes.
Because anything that you do to deliberately basically prevent matches from happening in the future is frowned upon. There is a difference, because what we saw with Dutch Oven, that all of that destruction was aimed at its opponent.
Yeah.
The cage was just collateral damage. But for something like a house bot where it's targeted and deliberate, yeah, let's just fix the house bot, make it more durable, rather than call that arena fouling.
We had a lot of exciting stuff going on here, and a lot of exciting stuff going on up in the pits. Let's check back in with Sam.
Sam!
What's going on up there, bud?
What's up? I am up in the pits, and it's still buzzing down here. We've got people doing some major repairs. A lot of robots have been melted, and that's difficult to come back from. So we've got folks reprinting some of their components. We've got folks desperately trying to get their drivetrains in order. We've got folks that are out of the tournament completely. And we've got folks that are really just hanging out. They didn't take much damage in either of their fights, and they're just having a good time with their friends. But for the most part, everyone's still up in the pits. They're buzzing. Laptops are out. Spare bots are being fabricated. Components are on the tables. The gloves are on. We've got busted bots next to bots being fixed, next to bots ready to go. All the spare belts, so many Crashfests over here, and we got mini Crashfests. We've got Huge coming off a win. We've got Tough Love bringing it together. We've got Kyle with Ripto after a tough loss. Sorry, Kyle. We've got all sorts of folks just hanging out, chatting. We got the Academy bots here going. Brandon Bennett Young's on a victory, just hanging out till tomorrow. Over on this side, 3D printers are set up, but not printing. Oh, there's one printing over there on the left. 2 of them, actually. Looks like Fireball's over here ready to go. Tomas working on Sombra, getting it together. Suitcases full of who knows what, secret technology. We've got Housebot flippers. Secret tents. What's behind the tent? No one knows. We've got replays being watched. Fight analysis happening.
All right, and there you see Jake Hoffman and Maximizer. Incredible builder, incredible bot, incredible year. Let's learn a little bit more about Maximizer and Jake.
Maximizer is a 12-pound thwack spinner. So I've got a big plow in the front to control my opponents, and then I spin the whole bot around and hit with this tail. It hits wheels anywhere unexpected, and it's able to put a lot of energy into its impacts because of how it hits. You'll see standard horizontals, they'll hit and then they'll bounce in the other direction. This doesn't do that. It hits and it stays stuck to the ground just like a vert would. It's really unique in the way that it attacks. The robot has key features that allow it to spin faster. The armored front pushes the center of mass forward. The towed-in wheels help push the center of rotation back closer to the center of mass, and this UHMW tail keeps it super lightweight, which helps me spin even faster. I can spin faster than human reaction time, 0.1, 0.15 seconds usually.
I have 2 forks in my hands. One feels substantially heavier than the other. Can you share a little bit about what you've done here?
So one of these forks is steel, this one, and one is aluminum. And it's a really specific type of aluminum as well. This is 7075, which is a highly brittle aluminum. It's got a very low elongation at break. A counter to my robot was to run a traditional vertical spinner split wedge. Promheta did that. And what happened is that my forks got sucked into his spinner, and when they bent, they kept sticking into the floor. It was a major problem. So to address this, I have 7075 breakaway forks with a breakaway groove. If these get hit, they just ablate, and then I can continue driving as normal.
It's awesome. It's like a perforated fork, so that on big impact, even as I guess you've learned driving into a wall too hard.
Yeah.
You can actually shear this thing right off, and then boom, you're right back in the fight.
I was also getting stuck in the wall, so I think I can. If I get stuck in the wall with these, I can break it off like a loose tooth and avoid a problem.
One other thing that I'm noticing here is you also have added cleats.
Yes. Here, there's some in there.
This looks dangerous.
I've always had cleats, but these are more aggressive cleats than what I ran in like March. These are 5-degree rake angle, and what the rake angle allows is to claw in and dig into the floor. They're so sticky that the drive has problems starting if they're too sharp. So I might actually dull these down before tomorrow, but it allows Max to really spin faster. Because the floor is wood, you're traction limited. So when you go to spin, you'll see the wheels spin out. These
floor letter word, built by Alex Curtis in the blue corner, which is
And that was Jake Hoffman and Maximizer. I've been following Jake's build diary on YouTube. He has created not only a fantastic bot this year, but a fantastic YouTube channel. You can follow him, I think it's at Jake Hoffman on YouTube, and you can see his iterative process of how he adapted from what was like a pancake motor that was powering that weapon to a more substantial motor that uses like a 90-degree gearbox to deliver, a completely new way of powering a horizontal with a very, very narrow profile. It's an awesome watch. Check out that series on YouTube. And yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about Jake.
That change that he made with that 90-degree component, as actually the physics of it has enabled him as a horizontal spinner to be able to I guess you call it gyro, to gyro his robot, flip it over if he gets turned up on its head, which is notoriously nearly impossible for horizontal robots to be able to do. That was kind of a happy accident. It's not something that he planned on necessarily, but it's something that he figured out happened when he made that change in the November championships, and I think that's so cool. It's just a really impressive builder.
Yeah, we'll see Jake and Maximizer again, I believe tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I think we have one more great match coming up. But I have to share this with folks. Can we take a close look at this? So we had a match earlier with Dutch Oven. I believe it was versus Monkfish in Cage 3, and Dutch Oven is able to put out so many BTUs of heat that things just started melting across Cage 3. An iPhone vaporized. One of our monitors on the inside of the cage just absolutely melted and fell off the wall. And just look at what's left of this LED light that was up on the ceiling. It's beautiful now. It kind of looks like an art installation. Let's take a look at some of the footage. There's the light that I'm holding right now.
I think that's what I was calling the goo earlier. It's solidified now. I don't know if it ever actually became goo, but I mean, these lights have been a major point of conversation throughout the years. They've fallen a lot this year. They've caused some arena hazard, unintentional chaos, and now
we have here, especially with so many powerful horizontal or vertical spinners, roofing, right? Bots that get launched up into the ceiling and actually knock a light down. So our technical staff here have figured out how to make these things so much more robust and strong to take those hits. But I guess we hadn't yet really encountered a bot that could put out so much heat that it would melt brackets and literally melt the lights themselves. So that's definitely something that we're going to have to look at for 2024. Look at the brackets that was holding up the screen. It's just like...
It's like a new material now. It is a new thickness, a new hardness. It's really incredible. Thank you, Thomas and Pit Control, for literally saving these out of the garbage for us. I've seen people in the YouTube live chat saying that this belongs in the NHRL museum. I could not agree more. But I feel like this is kind of like a cat toy. And I'd love to just kind of dangle it in front of Positively Hysterical.
Oh, okay. I think we're gonna go right over to Cage 1. So just for all of you out there, to get you all the way up to speed, we've had 2 forfeits. We had Tough Love from Leanne Cushing had to forfeit to diagnose some of those issues. I'm sure that bot will be back. And then also, Hotshot, our 50,000 RPM diesel thruster engine, took a few too many blows over the top of the head, I think, from Knockoff White, and is also tapped out of this competition. So our group stages are done for the night, but that doesn't mean the action has stopped. As you can see, the chefs are back. They're firing the grill up one last time. And we are seeing Raw Dog, also known as Soggy Mustang, versus Booster.
Now, Chris, what is Booster? Because I have not heard that name yet in the competition. Do you know what this secret bot is?
I think its full name is Booster Chad.
Booster Chad, that's right.
Yes, and so this is an all-new concept flipper, I think.
To be fair, it is a tried and true flipper that Chad has run in the past.
So that's Chad new Chad.
Chad new,
Yes.
not so new bot.
Chad New, one of our favorite builders from Colorado, the driver and builder of Yahoo, has built this robot. And it's interesting because we're going to actually see some short order cooks perhaps getting their dogs flipped.
I'm pretty sure that anybody who eats a hot dog after this is going to need a booster shot of some type of vaccine because it's not healthy.
Soggy Mustang, aka Raw Dog, of course, the only robot here that has several prop warnings in the state of California. So only this could happen here at NHRL.
It's really good, let's be honest, that the Safety Third team flew out from California to fight in Connecticut because this would not be legal in their home state.
This is, I mean, you have to relocate to the East Coast to make a hot dog robot like this and not have to put a label on it.
Wow.
So there we see. Oh my goodness.
Now, Chris, how do you eat your hot dogs? Ketchup, mustard, relish, all three?
Oh yeah, the more the merrier. I'm seeing a little bit of smoke. Oh, that I think is from the actual heating element at the center of this basket. They've got it working. This thing actually roasts its own dogs. It doesn't need another flamethrower or a bot like Alvin the Chipmunks to heat those dogs.
It is an independent roaster. It does not need anyone else to roast their hot dogs for them.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you can relish in that.
All right, they look pumped.
Robots ready. Condiments ready. That is a sight right there. And we see the three chefs ready to send their last supper into battle. Oh, there's William Osmond saying hi to Potato. Potato's a very adorable baby.
All right, so something I want to call attention to, Eric, the bots that come out of the Havoc Academy, that I think these were created by Emily and Peter, are going to be the mini bots for Soggy Mustang / Raw Dog.
Yeah, and we heard when Sam was interviewing them upstairs earlier, they're hoping that the bots survive their fights right now so that they can continue to iterate and build on them and adapt them to actually, participate in more fights tomorrow, but with a little bit more of their own signature spins on them. I can't wait to see what they do with that.
All right, Aaron Hill, who was so pertinent to helping them build this robot, is proudly watching on the sidelines. Kevin, I can just see the excitement in his eyes. The rotisserie is working!
Oh, that's good. I'm starving.
Oh, this is better than any 7-Eleven. I love the hot dogs on the back. They're so flop. Oh, wow. Okay, power stance. It's ready. It's on.
They have adapted their own power stance.
They're like in a pack together.
I've heard of the safety dance, but this is the safety dance? Safety third dance.
Safety third dance. Oh, they're ready. We're ready. Booster's ready. Aaron's ready. Here we go.
Hot dogs everywhere.
Hot dog pandemonium.
It's working as advertised.
You know what? I would not be surprised if I saw this in a late night infomercial.
It works way better than the margarita.
Oh my God! Hot dogs rolling everywhere. Oh no!
Oh my goodness!
Oh, it's just graphic now.
Booster is a short order cook. There is such a mess.
Oh! All right. Soggy Mustang's still
still very soggy. I wonder if Booster has some 100% all beef hot dogs sucked into its drive system.
Is this robot high-centered on a hot dog?
It's
oh, what?
There we go. Oh, Booster just does like a suplex through the air and lands on one of the Erics.
Eric having a pin. Eric pinning Booster. All right, and he got some help from the Housebot to get knocked off. Wow! I cannot believe how mobile this robot still is, given that is 90% hot dog.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
This is NHRL, folks. This is what we do here.
Oh, wow. You hear the crowd going nuts. There's hot dog everywhere. There's condiment everywhere.
Get the mustard.
There's 1 minute left in this match. I mean,
it's pretty even.
Raw Dog, AKA, Soggy Mustang, is holding its own. It's still in there.
Both of those Erics still extremely mobile, taking that flip like a champ. I can't believe my eyes.
This is wild.
That you get to watch this at home for free. This is the golden age to be alive.
If only our primordial ancestors could just see all of this beef.
This is what humanity has culminated in, and I am happy about that.
In the 60s, we put humans on the moon. Here in 2023, at Havoc All-Stars, we put all beef franks about 20 feet in the air.
That's the match. Both bots going the distance against all odds. The chefs are spinning, they're twirling in delight. What more can be said?
Now, normally, this is something that would go to a judge's decision. And we are going to wait for that judge's decision.
Judges, this is your reward for your long night of tough calls.
And that judge is Joey Chestnut.
Wow. Wow. Okay. You know what? It's demonstrating that it still has movement.
Yeah.
That it still has hot dog.
And that Erics make great dance partners.
Yeah. Shout out to those Erics. Very well built. Nice job, Emily and Peter. Nice job, William, Kevin, and Michael. Frankly, I thought I've seen it all, and clearly I haven't.
Let's take a look at this this replay.
Some trash talking chefs.
Give him with the safety third dance. We see the hot dogs roasting.
This is how it looked just a couple minutes ago. Remember that?
Oh.
Taking those flips like a champion.
I've heard of flipping burgers, but this is a first.
Just the hot dog roller from hell. I love that Eric is high-centered on a hot dog.
Here we see Booster Chad about to do that awesome suplex kind of awesome, right onto an Eric. But then Eric with the pin.
Eric with the pin. Wow.
If you want to learn to build an Eric and make your own Eric, check us out at NHRL.io. What a day, Lindsay.
This is the only way that we could have ended this remarkable day one of this event. And we're gonna have the YouTubers back. They're gonna have more fights throughout the next 2 days. So if you liked what you saw, and how could you possibly not, come see us again. And there they are, twirling
twirling our way towards victory.
Oh, they're like their own hot dogs on the hot dog roller.
Incredible.
There we go.
And here they are. They're waiting for the judge's decision.
On the edge of their seats.
You can see on their faces, they...
Oh?
Okay. Before we get into that judge's decision, we're going to update our 3-pound standings. Taking a look at Group A, we had Dutch Oven, obviously, taking 2 wins with 5 points.
So Dutch Oven is gonna move on, I have to imagine. Yes,
we'll see
Dutch
Monkfish and
Oven
Synthesis slug it out tomorrow. Going into Group B, we have Mixtape, Fireball, Droopy, Fireball 1-1.
Yep, you gotta secure 2 wins to guarantee your next round.
That means tomorrow, Lindsay, we're gonna see Mixtape and Droopy going head to head. All right, Group C, we have Hot Wings, Caldera, Chainsaw Kitty. Hot Wings had I think the one match with the accidental tap out. So we're gonna see a couple more matches in that bracket tomorrow. In Group D, we have Chubby Unicorn, Crashfest, and Project LiftOff. Project LiftOff. Taking 2 losses, are knocked out, but we're going to see Chubby Unicorn and Crashfest going at it again tomorrow.
Yep. So,
3-pound division. Any surprises that came your way?
I did not anticipate Project LiftOff going home on the first night, going 0-2. I mean, that robot is not new by any means. Andrew Kazmer has been working on it, and Jim Kazmer have been working on it for years now. They've really honed the craft of what a melty brain can be. And I don't know, it could just be they haven't participated a lot this year. I'm not sure if they have been iterating on it this year as much as years past. It just shows like how quickly things in robotics move, especially here at NHRL. We have 6 regular events plus the championships. It's just so much time for people to improve and learn and improve and learn.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, so that wraps up the 3s. Let's take a look here at the 12-pound standings in Group A. We had Blackjack, Disco, and Tough Love. Again, Tough Love taking 2 losses and is out. Leanne unable to repair whatever was going on with Tough Love, but we're going to see Blackjack and Disco again. We have Group B here. Sombra, 12, HoneyShock, and Maximizer. Jake taking a loss there. We're gonna see. Okay, well, let's go into Group C. We have Cthulhu, Buzz-Kill, and Darkstar. Darkstar going home. Anthony just kind of walked by and gave us a thumbs up. He's a-okay.
Enjoying a beer.
Enjoying a beer. Group D, Bobby, Saiko, and Minor Threat 5.
All bots still in it.
All bots still in it. 12-pounders, some of the best fights that we saw today were born out of that. I am really looking forward to seeing Bobby hang in there. Saiko obviously did a fantastic job. We saw a very little bit out of Cthulhu and the Coakleys. We're probably going to see a little bit more there. Really sad to see Anthony and Darkstar going home, but more action in the 12-pound division coming at you tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the 30-pounders. We have Huge with its first win, Squire going 1-1, and then Big Ripto, unfortunately 0-2, which means that Huge and Squire will be guaranteed to move on, and Kyle Singer and his beloved robot Big Ripto will be basically staying home. With Group B, we have Vorion standing at 1-0, looking pretty good. Disinformation also at 1-0. That does mean that floor letter word again is at 0-2, which means that is the last for Alex Curtis in this competition. Group C, we have Red Storm still in it with 1 knockout. Knockout, unfortunately, is 1-1. It's had some rough matches, and Lil Rip has only had 1 match so far, but did not win. So the last group here in the 30 pounds is a little bit of a weird one. Yahoo won by default because Hot Shot was forfeited after its match with Knockoff White. So Yahoo and Knockoff White are guaranteed to move on to the basically the knockout round of this, and Hot Shot has had its last shot. So we're going to see the conclusion of the basically the group rounds tomorrow, and whoever makes it out of their group, out of their bracket, will go on to the knockout rounds, and it's basically do or die at that point.
Yeah, I believe it's single elimination at that point. Here we're in cage 1, and this is the hot dog walk of shame.
Very precarious placement of some of these hot dogs.
That's a way of using a shirt. I've done it.
You know what? I just have to hope, like, we love the safety third guys so much.
Oh, okay. This is it, folks.
Chris,
This is how we button up our day 1 of Havoc All-Stars. We have a judge's decision.
Oh,
it was a nail biter. Booster sweeps the judge's decision, but Soggy Mustang claiming points in categories.
It had some.
And yeah, there we see our wonderful builders behind Soggy Mustang, aka Raw Dog. We're going to see a lot more of these folks in the next 2 days.
Absolutely.
So if this is something that you enjoyed, like and subscribe at NHRL. We make great content all the time. It's really fun, it's educational, and it's also some mayhem kind of sprinkled in there. So definitely check us out tomorrow and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Havoc All-Stars. It's been a blast. We're going to be finishing the group stages in our first portion of tomorrow's programming, and then we're going to move into those elimination rounds where, you know, it's do or die, and we have some of the best bots in these respective weight classes on planet Earth ready to go head-to-head. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait. Come join us tomorrow. And man, what more do you want? We got it.
I'm Chris DeSigo, Lindsay Bear, NHRL, All-Stars.
See you tomorrow.